last session we got into the Summers Griffin, set Koana and Dima there to occupy, and to try and do a little social work with the traumatized kids and the somewhat traumatized adults as well. While the crew went into the Titan class ship to which they were docked, and battled space zombies. Also recovered the body of the dad and husband of people in the Summers Griffin. During that fight, there were a few observations. One of which, the most immediate of which, is yes, these are look like humans that have been just walking around and being perfectly fine in the absence of any atmosphere. They were using mag boots. They were using void rifles, void carbines. They were acting with some manner of intelligence, right up until they tried to swarm you in a tight quarters area with their rifles. One other small observation was made by Elise. Saw what appeared to be some kind of glow or flash of light in the death of one of them, but that couldn't subsequently be confirmed on camera on the various recordings that you guys have. So it's just something that Elise saw. That's fun. You got the body back. Everybody's happy, and you guys are set and clear, as far as you know, to begin salvaging this wreck. Any highlights that any of you can recall from 2 weeks ago?
I got to use a grenade.
Oh yes, Douglas got to use a grenade to great effect.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'd say probably one of the highlights for me was in the fight being able to run up the wall using the mag boots so I could get a better shot on the zombies.
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody else thought of that.
Yeah.
It's just
it's
so
easy to forget you're in 0G.
Yeah, and it's such natural human thinking for us that haven't lived in 0G to be like, this three-dimensional space is a 2D plane for my purposes.
2D plane with some walls on
Yeah.
it. It's like, no, it's a box. You can walk on the ceiling if you want to.
Yep.
Yeah. There is one word bold in my notes.
Yeah.
And it is the word billion.
Billion.
In the sentence, this ship would carry somewhere in the region of 500 million people.
Yeah.
Big ship.
Big ship.
I think that was
It takes a lot of potentially pre-take bits to make a big ship.
it was in a lyric somewhere. Maybe it wasn't the lyric. It was in something artsy. All right. Did you have a highlight there, Jackal, or?
I do. My highlight is that we made someone cry by refusing to take their money.
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
we made someone cry in the good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like the sort of ship that the Raza is, we do kind of have to clarify there.
Yeah.
You know, like the Raza has probably made a lot of people cry, and this might still be a first.
So, before we start the session proper, I do want to reiterate the content warning I posted in planning 2 weeks ago. That there is very likely to be themes of suicide in this session. This is for any viewers that aren't watching, but also just good practice for should there be viewers active, at the time in the future. All right, and we Come back in. I see the TPK counter has been near TPK counter has been updated.
Yeah, maybe it's supposed to be 12 because I feel like I didn't get a chance to update it last time.
Think
No,
you
I think
guys-
it's 11.
Yeah, I think you
Because
guys said
Okay.
it was
it's
session 2, right?
I always have
Yeah, it
trouble
was
with
session.
It was
Yeah,
end
it was
of
session
session 2. So
Right.
we're 11
'cause
sessions later now.
yeah. We
Yeah,
are
because
on
session
14.
session one ended.
Oh, sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
session one ended with us seeing the nearby star out of a windscreen. Session two ended with the near TPK.
I'm sorry, Viral. I feel bad that I interrupted you by saying sorry. I'm interrupting you. Go ahead.
Nah, you good. I will say it's going to be really funny if we ever do get a near TPK and we actually need to reset the counter to 0.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be great. It'd be great.
All right, let me find where this. Oh, there it is. The Roll20 actually changed to the map stuff. They finally have folders.
Oh.
So you know that's cool. Oh, right. I still have to click myself over there. Great. All right, and it starts the music playing. Perfect. You have access to the Titan class ship through the Summers Griffin, and to the best of your capabilities, you've confirmed there are no other moving things within the ship. Now, to keep some tension out there, I'm telling you as players, yeah, it's no more threats, but your characters,
Right.
it's
Mm.
it's still a huge ship. There's no way you could possibly have searched everywhere. So as far as the characters are concerned, it's still risky, and treat it that way. But I'm telling you, just because that helps facilitate us making decisions and moving forward in play. First thing I'm going to ask is, do you want to maintain the present arrangement with the Summers Griffin being docked to the Titan ship, and you docked to the Summers Griffin on the other side?
We're gonna be here a while. It's probably best to let them go on their way.
I was just
Right.
thinking, yeah, if we're going to be here a while, we probably want to undock, let them go, and then we'll redock to the same airlock.
Yeah, but then that raises the question: why didn't we do that already last session?
I think we were concerned with the hostiles on board, or I don't remember the entire
Yeah.
reason, but
I can't remember
the
exactly
situation
what
was
we
much less
talked about.
uncertain, or much more uncertain.
There were some concerns. One, they wanted you to recover. Well, the husband wanted you to recover Sage's body.
Which we did.
Yeah. There is
Yeah.
a concern that it hasn't gone away. It's that them going back to the fuel station at the edge of the system, they might run into someone, and they might
Oh, yeah.
alert. Yeah.
Mm.
That was the big one.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that hasn't changed. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to let them go because I feel like the odds of them actually sending a search party back here are pretty slim. But
Yeah.
There was also the small minor issue of, in order to actually let them go, you do have to spend some time hacking their ship open.
Right, yeah, because their ship's still locked.
Their
Right,
ship is
we'd
still
have to
locked. Mm-hmm.
Stick some line shunts
Yeah.
in and yeah.
Yeah, it was a thing, wasn't it? You know, they should really get that reset.
That's the plan. They absolutely are going to go to a shipyard first thing and get themselves factory reset.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I mean, I'm not saying we do this, but technically we don't need line shunts. As long as we can get them undocked in less than half an hour, we don't need line shunts, and then their ship just shuts down as they fly off. I'm not saying we do that. I'm saying it would work.
It would take care of the problem.
Because I do have Hacker 2 now, so
That's probably too nice for a
actuation
person
is
to
up
stress
quite
that.
a lot.
It would take care of both your problems. They wouldn't be able to alert anybody.
Yeah, but I feel like with all we've done so far, that's maybe not the path we're going to take.
It would make Koana very unhappy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, in that case, I
I
object.
think it would make Das very unhappy as well. I'm absolutely not saying we do it. I'm just saying it would work.
Yeah, now let's keep them docked for the moment. I mean, we are still like in the guts of the ship, and we don't know that there's no hostiles there. So,
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
we would need to go back again. And how many times did we already go back there?
Several.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, you're going to stay docked. You're going to be working in the ship for a bit. Now, obviously, if you were docked directly, you'd be able to just bring things directly back over to the ship. There's still a measure of, or a level of logistics where it's not sensible to carry in armfuls of scrap, or even drag in a little loader's worth of scrap with every trip. You know, stacking them up and moving them to your open cargo bay is much more efficient than trying to bring things through an airlock. So being double docked like this, it does create a little bit of a logistical impediment.
That's true, yeah. Because, like, how many times we're going to have to go back and forth and add the width of the airship to each of those trips?
Yeah.
That's going to add up.
It's mostly the time spent between the airlocks that's going to add up, because, you know, their ship isn't big. But you have to cycle the airlock.
Yeah.
Maybe if we say to them, just like, you know, we'd appreciate if you didn't mention us or this big ship when you go out.
That could work, yeah.
Because I think I don't know about the rest of them, but I think Poseidon would probably go along with it, given we recovered Sage's body for him.
Yeah.
You know, like we've basically got him out of a kind of a horrible situation.
Yeah, and didn't even ask for the reward for it.
And exactly that too. So, yeah.
The reward can be your silence.
Yeah, you know, like we haven't asked for money, so I think it's then somewhat reasonable to ask for silence instead.
Yeah, discretion. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. Discretion. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We were never here.
Alright, so if you want to take that approach, I am going to ask for a charisma or wisdom talk from someone to
I can do that.
to make that request. Go ahead.
This is
somebody
what I was built
assist?
for.
Oh. No need. No need.
We need it. That's a 13. Yep.
That is what you're made for. Yeah. You're able to pull Sage and not Delphi. I keep forgetting which one is the
You mean Poseidon
Numeria.
and Numeria?
Yeah.
Yes. Sage is the dead one.
Yeah, I meant Poseidon. It was well, I got both the names wrong. So yeah, you managed to pull Poseidon and Numeria aside, or not pull them aside, but get them away from the kids. And present. Do you want to? How do you think Elise presents it?
I think she probably brings it up like, hey, you know, we were thinking about it. We do want some reward, although it's still not monetary. We really don't want to take your credits. However, it's very important to us that we have discretion as we're going about this. Maybe she also brings in, like, hey, we're salvaging here, but we don't have the permits, right? And we don't want someone to come around and ask us for that, right?
Yeah, both Poseidon and Numeria are very amenable. They, in fact, offer once they've gotten things figured out, on their end. They tell you that you guys can come and look them up. Their port of call is Lamiera. They're not always there, but ask in, and if there's anything that they can do for you, um, this is their life. They are salvagers,
Yeah.
and they absolutely understand not having permits. They don't have them themselves.
That kind of people.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically the conversation. Let's keep what happened hush hush, just between the two of us.
Yep. All right. Um. Not viral. Ginja, would you give me a int program for Dash?
Yep. Is this hacking?
It is. It is. She's going to be able to hack the ship. It's just a frigate. It's not even military. This is
Yeah.
just.
This is how long does it take, I guess.
Yeah. It's a measure of how long it'll take, because this doesn't fall into the normal hack one round
16?
10 minutes.
That's 2 6s.
Yep,
And
nice.
And that was the first 2 dice as well. So even without the 4d6, that's 2 6s.
Yeah.
God damn.
Gross.
There's
Good ass.
there are still some fiddly bits and very sensitive bits. Dash navigates them expertly. What?
How many line jumps does that take me to get it to be permanent?
You know what? I will give you a choice of either it takes only one line shunt. She manages to find a way to route data through uh, a single point that she's put on a line shunt, or put a line shunt on instead of the usual routing. She found a subroutine, kind of a safety subroutine, in case things get damaged. But it takes her a little bit longer, or you can have it done in under an hour. So with saving the line shunt, you're looking at about 4 hours worth of work. And when I say under an hour, I mean like half an hour.
Right. Yeah. Okay. How expensive are line shunts? I don't remember.
Not very.
Yeah, I don't think they're very, but how not very?
They're
I
only
see.
100 credits,
100 credits. Okay.
but they're not something that you can just go into Walmart and buy.
Right.
But can we fabricate them?
I'm gonna say that you'll need a blueprint for that, and don't have one.
It's a
Okay,
blueprint
we'll
something
just-
we can go to Walmart and buy.
Well, yeah, we'll just stock them at Walmart anyways. Even if we're told that we specifically can't.
Now you find yourself a hack mart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I would say until we find a good source for them, which we don't have yet, I'm going to go with spending a bit more time to only use one.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm down to 2.
Visualize something actually. Although we're back at their ship having the back at the Summers Griffin having the conversations with Aquarius and his family and unhacking their ship. Does that mean that we just went straight back there after fighting the space zombies again? Because we were Like, we did leave off the previous session in the middle of the ship.
Oh, you did. Yeah, no, I may have jumped ahead a bit.
We're jumping around.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, fair.
Was there anything that you wanted to, any scene that you wanted to have before going back to your ship? Before kind of going back to recover and make sure that everybody's okay and check everyone's suits. That's what I'll say is the reason that you went back is you just had a fight, bullets were flying.
Okay, yeah, combat shock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like Percy probably would have wanted to continue on while they were in there anyway, but seeing that, for example, I imagine Das probably had a little bit of combat shock from being in that big of a gunfight.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, so seeing that Das at least was that badly rattled, he probably would have said, okay, yeah, no, I'm calling a retreat, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot for the moment where I left you. Even though I included it in the narrative. Okay. Yeah, and we'll say that the Libra got repaired in that time also. Believe that's one spare part
she got
for
shot,
you.
didn't she?
She did.
Not great.
Did somebody already take off the spare part to repair her? I'm not hearing a yes.
Not me, no.
So whoever's tracking.
Yeah. How many is it?
I'm just gonna say one right now.
Just one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's dropping the bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And done.
All right. And so with a few hours of Das working into the system and getting everything unlocked and kind of bunched up in the line shunt that she placed, making extra clear, or somebody hopefully makes it extra clear to them, do not knock this off.
Oh, Das definitely would be saying this. Do not touch this until you're at a shipyard.
Yep.
That can fix your ship.
Okay. And a few more minutes for them to for you to undock from them to undock from the Titan ship. Anything that you want to do with your goodbyes, or just let them go?
Nothing springs to mind for me. Anyone else?
Not really anything for me either.
Oh, as long as we check that we got Kwana and Dima off their ship first before they take off.
Yeah, make sure everyone's on the right ship before we do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Okay. They thank you again. They are very grateful. I'm not expressing it very well, but they are very grateful for you coming by and making it so that they didn't suffocate or, breathe toxic air to death.
Yeah, I believe breathing toxic air and suffocating are like 6.5 dozen.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have the Titan ship all to yourself. You're able to dock back up or arrange yourself so that you've got a cargo bay positioned. Whatever is going to be the most useful for moving the massive amounts of material that you're anticipating from this ship.
One thing that I will say is that over the few hours while Das was reprogramming their ship, I think Percy probably would have, is there some sort of sketching app or something on our data pads?
Oh yeah, sure.
Like basically just far future MS Paint, because I feel like Percy would probably try and sketch out a map of roughly, or he would have gone around the team to see what they remembered and corroborate, and basically tried to sketch out a map of what we remember of the layout of the Titan ship from where we entered,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And what's he trying to what are you trying to achieve here? Just kind of.
Just to make sure that we don't get lost and can roughly keep track of where we are next time we go in.
Okay. Yeah.
And also, if there's any more efficient paths, then it might let us figure out, hey, we can go this way instead of going around this. You know?
Yeah, that certainly works. It's not as good as a nav comp. I think it's called a nav comp.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't think you guys have one of those.
Given that I don't recognize the
It
term,
is
I
called
imagine
an
we don't.
avcon, but I don't think we've got one.
So yeah, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
They're fairly
Absolutely.
cheap, though. We should pick one up.
Hmm.
500.
Yeah, bear in mind that we've only recently gotten used to having money, though.
Well, indeed, indeed. You know.
Like, until quite recently, we had 0.
Yes. Yes.
There is field equipment. As tools and medical. There's field equipment.
Yeah, so we're going in through the, like, once we get set up with the Titan ship's docking bay, I feel like the first thing Percy would probably try and do is try and figure out a path that connects from the docking bay to somewhere that's on the map, so that we get a sort of idea of where we are relative to where we were before.
Okay. Why don't you roll me either wisdom or intelligence, and either survive or admin.
I'll take wisdom survive, I think,
Okay.
because I actually have points in both of those,
Oh, very good.
as opposed to, oh wait, no, I don't have wisdom points, charisma. I do have survive though.
Okay. It's good.
And let's see how we go. Hey, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It's going to make having a workable map, even if it is MS Paint, or as some people like to call it, Ms. Paint, is certainly going to make navigating and coordinating easier. It is going to simplify the logistics. Now, to that end,
That's good.
what kind of areas on a ship this size do you want to look? You've already seen that there's a massive Exodus bay that surely must have some kind of pretext support in it, and just the general the sheer size of the ship has also got to have some kind of pretext support in engine and or structure.
Yeah, I'm really thinking engine.
Yeah.
Percy's not really got anything to contribute on that front, apart from they were carrying void carbines. Let's see if we can raid any other armories we find along the way. Apart from that, I don't know dick about shit when it comes to fixing things, so I'll let somebody else take the lead.
All right.
So yeah, engine.
All right. Welcome back, Jackal. There. The crew is let loose the Summers Griffin, and is now on the Titan class ship, heading towards the engine.
Are we looking for anything specifically?
Pretect.
No, I
Yeah,
get that, but like,
Sorry.
if it's a
Yeah, I can
huge
trigger-
ship, right? Surely we can find a map and then target specific areas, right? I
Yeah.
imagine the ship has quite an extensive engineering workshop. They probably have lots of machinery that would have supported the life
true.
pods.
Yeah.
So I think we find a map, we identify where we might find something that might be of particular interest, something that we could maybe even just rip out straight and put it on our ship.
But rather
Yeah,
than
that's
just wandering into a room and figuring out from the fixtures what it was. That makes sense.
This
Yeah.
is a massive ship for like 500 million people. They have to have a fucking map.
Yep.
Yeah.
To be fair, almost everyone was in stasis too, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like So when you wake up 500,000 people, there's 500,000 people worth of supplies on the ship. The if it's a colony ship, it can't just land and they're just like boom done. Now that you're on the planet, figure it out. They have to have supplies to set up colonies. They have to have building materials. They have to have generators to have power,
So
pipes to
Wait,
install plumbing.
wait. So
so
are you
let
saying
me
that there's potentially? Are you, sorry, go on.
yeah let me jump in there. A lot of that stuff was on the other ships. Yes, there is going to be some of that on this ship, but not enough for 500,000,000 people. This was more of an Exodus ship than a colony ship.
Oh,
With the difference in my mind being this ship was designed to get as many people on and escape with them, and then figure out what to do with them later.
It's a planet-sized life pod.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it does have resources and supplies uh, for people, but it's definitely not for 500,000,000. And the ship itself could absolutely not support 500,000,000 people. Its crew size is probably more in the within the 1 to 5,000, which is still big.
if you could quantify it for me, just so I can contextualize this, I'm sure you've mentioned this before, but just to reestablish it, how long would it take if I were to start at one end of the ship to walk a full circle around the perimeter? Would you say?
Well, let's see. 1.2 kilometers, but that's not counting the. Oh, no problem. I see we got Nox response there. Um, I must have missed the comment. Um, sorry. So
Probably a
one
couple of hours, I think.
kilometer. I can't remember how fast someone can walk a kilometer, but I'm gonna say that because it's not a straight shot, it's not just a track. It would probably take about 2 to 3 hours.
Okay. So if it takes 2 to 3 hours, and we are confident enough, let's start off with trying to figure out where we can get a map of the ship. I'm sure that we could get one from the pilot's console or from the engineering console. Engineering should be toward the back of the ship, and then the bridge could be pretty much anywhere, middle, front, left, right,
Mm.
right. So
I would expect the bridge to be on the center line, but other than that, yeah, pretty much probably wherever.
Yeah.
I mean, the bridge could be right before engineering. Like, there's just a hallway. The left is the bridge, the right is engineering, or it could be all the way up to the front.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I'd expect it to be in the middle of the ship, horizontal, like
Yeah.
side to side, but it could be top, bottom, front, back, whatever. So we'll have to see if we can find a map or something. Yeah.
Or if we just, engineering should have a map of the ship because it would have to keep
Yeah.
track of
There'll be a system
essentially, yeah.
display or something, surely.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah,
if we
that's
just
probably a
walk
good
toward the
stop.
back of the ship, we'll eventually stumble upon the engineering bay, and then from there we can have more detailed searching. And it shouldn't take us longer than, 2 hours to find.
You say
Yeah,
that
and
now.
I've looked it up, and a kilometer is it doesn't take anywhere near that long. So I think to make my response a little bit more grounded, um, if you didn't have various impediments like space and things like just holes being that are eaten entirely through the ship, uh, would only take like 30 minutes to make a circuit of the ship. The 2 hours is a very conservative, very generous estimate, accounting for blocked passages and holes in the ship. So, don't know if that was helpful, but there you go. Oh.
So what you're saying is if we try and do a lap of the ship with Percy at the front holding his thunder gun, it's going to take us half an hour to get around the ship. because blockages aren't as much of a problem then.
Yes, if you want to just blow them through, then
Oh, this thing's in our way. What thing? Bang,
Yeah.
what thing?
Yeah, there were things in a way. For legal purposes, this is a joke. I'm not going to Thundergun the hell out of the Titan ship. Probably.
Probably.
1 second here. The heck? Okay. Hang on, I'm having a little crisis here. Who's that? Shoot. I'm sorry. Give me another moment here.
I guess.
Okay, so while we're waiting, since the ship was meant to be done for 500,000,000 people, Jackal, does this mean that you're going to be looking for 500,000,000 people's worth of meals ready for release on this ship?
We could certainly, although I feel like let's assume that the people have to eat in cryo sleep, which I don't think that they do, right? But if they did, it would just be easier to just put all the nutrients in powder and just inject it into them via IV. There'd be no solid food; it would all just be powdered, mixed in with water.
Yeah, and I imagine Elise probably wouldn't be. Like,
No, that would be
Huh.
disgusting.
yeah.
Imagine
I wonder
having
how
like
Koana would feel. I wonder how Koana would feel about that compared to regular MREs.
imagine like having a steak, blending it up, and then mixing in so much water that it looks like
Oh.
just like brown sludge. That's what's getting injected into these people's IVs if they have to have some sort of slurry. But a giant vat of that is way more efficient than having solid food or anything else. But this is all assuming that they have to eat, which I don't think that they do, because when they're frozen, and your body stops.
So you're right, but I do use a stasis tech and not cryotech. I don't know why I just like stasis better. It's more sci-fi. Not that cryo is.
It doesn't have that weird association with Walt Disney.
That might be it. But no, even in stasis, they don't have to eat. It's actual stasis. It's one of the pre-tech things that has managed to carry forward without requiring actual pre-tech components. The thing that people in stasis eat is power. You have to have lots of power to keep stasis running. Most of them have their own batteries. Like the pods on your ship have their own internal battery that can last for like 10 years. But that's for 5 people, 10 people. And those were much bulkier than these are. Those had space to accommodate massive battery packs. These don't. I found what I was looking for. I apologize for that. It was right in front of me. And so, it sounds like Jackal's suggestion here is to, instead of going straight to engineering, do a circuit around the ship and get a feel for where everything is. Which kind of helps to contribute to Percy's map anyways. Is that what you guys want to do?
Yeah, sounds good.
Fine by me.
Alright.
Sure.
You do take a quick tour around the ship. You come across the bridge. It's all open in there. Looks like well, You're seeing the what I put up the trigger warning for. Um, you see the crew of the ship as they spent their last moments. Many of them just died. They eventually ran out of air or you know, tried whatever they were doing until the last. Um, but there's others where you see somebody took a gun to their head. Uh,
Hmm. Grim.
you see people who are wearing vac suits and their helmet is just floating nearby. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there was one scene. I'd actually made two versions of this. One with if it uploads. It is uploaded, but it's big. Um, you see this? Just someone that decided to mag lock themselves and also wedged themselves onto the floor, onto the ground with something that wouldn't demagnetize in billions of years. Actually, I don't know how long magnets last, but it's definitely longer than hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty long unless there's any impact on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So they're still standing there with the under the power of the mag boots,
Mm-hmm.
and coming upon this bay, this empty ship bay, it at first looks like hey, there is somebody just standing out there, and they're even kind of waving a little bit. But you've seen enough dead people here, and you've you know that the ship is 600 years old. That it's an illusion only for a moment. That is somebody who locked themselves to stare out into space for eternity. Um, more, less depressingly, there's a lot of good stuff on the ship. Um, there are these fighter bays. They all appear to be empty and also exposed to vacuum. Um, but there is a absolutely massive engine bay. There's a bridge with a massive set of computers, a massive space for computing power, um, and a very highly advanced med bay. There's also fabrication facilities
Mm-hmm.
within, and the one call it cryogenics, the Exodus Bay.
Basis.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is there anything specific that you'd like to ask about the ship on your tour? Because I think I've only touched on, some basics.
There's something that caught my attention from your description. You said that some of these people are wearing vac suits, or they seem to have suffocated in the vacuum if they've taken the helmets off or whatever.
Mhm.
Do those people look distinctly different from the ones we were fighting earlier who were wandering about quite happily without vac suits? Or do they
Um,
look more or less the same?
well, let's see. Uh, roll me. I think survive would be appropriate for this again. Um,
Mm-hmm.
or heal. Heal would actually be very appropriate too. In fact, heal
That's
would be
good
better.
because I. Okay. With what skill?
Int or
I don't know,
wisdom.
with what stat? Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Let's go with int. Why not?
Nice.
10. Yeah.
10. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there is a difference. It's not a distinct difference, and it takes a bit of It took Percy's very recent explorations into this medical profession. In fact, I'm going to ask you for a scene on this. What
Yeah.
has Percy been studying or doing? He doesn't have to necessarily have to be studying, but like
Mhm.
justify his increase in the heal skill.
Sure. So it started off like the initial training and healing came from basically back when he was on the Swift as a younger individual. Um, there was always a chance of someone getting knifed or shot in a fight. So
Mhm.
everyone who wanted to have a decent length of life, that is, tried to pick up at least a little bit of knowledge, like being able to, for example, close over a wound to stop somebody from bleeding out or having the organs falling out after a fight for long enough for an actual doctor to reach them. But since we woke up on the Raza, Percy did have that sort of basic medical background, but noticing that there was nobody here that really has much medical knowledge,
Mhm.
and I think possibly partly out of fear as well that we might have trouble if we went to an actual hospital because we want criminals. Um, I don't know if the Hippocratic Oath is still a thing in the far future where doctors need to treat everyone, even for bad people. Um, I know that's not exactly what the Hippocratic Oath is, but I think that's part of it. Anyways, um, out of that sort of sense of like self-sustaining and needing to look after ourselves, Percy has been doing a little bit more formalized research into medicine, which ended up working out pretty well when he had to when he had to apply a Lazarus patch to one of those guys that jumped us in the bathroom at Henry Station to stop them from bleeding out so that we could rattle them for information.
Okay. So it's
So
something
yeah,
that
that's where
kind of
Percy's heal skill comes from.
yeah, it's something that was picked up as a pirate slash mercenary, and
Yeah.
Percy, upon waking up,
Yeah.
saw more direct need for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, picked up the fundamentals mostly by example
Hmm.
back as a younger guy, but he's been doing a bit more formalized actual research into it since we woke up with amnesia.
Okay. One of the things that he's come across in his more recent studies relates very, very directly to this, and that is the decomposition in space. It happens,
Ooh.
but it's very slow.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
there are signs, very, very subtle signs, but just it's fresh in Percy's memory of someone who has decomposed less, and the people that were walking around and shooting guns at you decomposed less.
Huh. Okay, so if they were decomposing, I think Percy would actually point that out to the rest of the group. Like, you should make a point of shouting over whoever's closer when we happen to look at corpses and go, hey, look at actually he probably shout on Daz because she's been doing healing stuff as well.
Hmm.
Hey, Daz,
Indeed.
come here, look at this. You see his body here?
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is this a lot like it's subtle, but it's just me, or are these bodies more rotted than the guys that we were shooting at earlier?
Yeah. Yeah. So
I
either
mean,
they
it
were
was
going slower, or at some point they stopped,
hmm,
or didn't start for a
yeah,
while.
yeah. You know what? Remind me when we check out the big stasis pod bay later on.
Mm.
Remind me to look at some of the bodies of the people who are still in the stasis tubes
Yeah.
because I wonder, like, these guys have been here decomposing for a long time. The few that were walking about hadn't decomposed much, but I wonder whether they were still decomposing in their pods or not. If they have been, then the people who are still in pods will be about the same level as rot as the ones that were walking.
Yeah.
But it could be that the ones that were walking about have only got a little bit of rot because they were only out of their pods for a little bit. And if that was the case, then that would imply that the stasis pods are still getting power from somewhere. If the bodies in them are still fresh.
Or if they're fresher, it might indicate that they had power for a little while after the ship went down.
Yeah, possibly. The other thing that's bugging me though is why do these guys need vac suits? Like the ones we saw earlier were walking about quite happily without them, but these guys had vac suits on. I mean, I wondered if it was maybe some sort of fancy surgery, like you know, you can get that.
Well, maybe
you can get
maybe
that.
it's not.
You can get that void
maybe
skin stuff.
something else.
You can get that void skin stuff that lets you stay okay in vacuum for a little while. So I wonder
Not
if
something I've looked at, but yeah, I can imagine what they've come up with.
Yeah, no, I've read about it somewhere. It's basically like a sort of self-sealing layer over your entire skin that holds for about half an hour or so. So I wonder if the guys down there just had really fancy version of that, and they just would have ran out of it and suffocated eventually if we'd left them.
Possible, I guess. Yeah.
As far as we know,
we should check. We should we should at some point go and have a look at them and see if we can see anything about them.
Yeah, because what was his name? Poseidon's husband, the dead guy. Sage, that was it. Yeah. I mean, he didn't let them out very long before. It was less than a day, so it could, I think, wasn't it? So it could have been like fancy pre-tech void skin. They happened to have a day, be able to have a day rather than half an hour. It could have been that, or it could be there's something weird and screwy about them going on, and they don't need vac suits for whatever incomprehensible reason. I don't know. It just jumped to my head when I saw this.
Yeah, definitely worth investigating further. We should look into that, see whether they're enhanced in some way.
Yeah, remind me next time we're passing by.
Yeah,
I would cut one of these guys open, but I honestly, if I see the inside of someone, then I'm trying to close them up. Usually, I'm not learning as much about what the inside's meant to look like, so I probably wouldn't be able to tell anyway. Okay, and Percy will just leave himself a wee, set an alert for like half an hour or so to ping up and say, check the stasis pods.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Jackal, that's based on a kind of a count of the vac suits that you have seen in the still stations or the facilities for vac suits. Just other observations around the ship. So you've had a tour, and you can generally estimate whereabouts you think pre-tech is most likely to be found. Let me find my pre-tech's handout here. Where did I put that? I can never find it. Pre-tech components are right there in the reports. Yeah. So you can be confident that there's going to be computing. Let me put this on everybody's screen here. All for the sake of a joke there. You can be pretty confident that there are going to be computing components and amp components, as well as in the bridge and the Exodus Bay. You can also be fairly confident that there are going to be materials throughout the ship in strategic structural points. and the others are, well, they would probably be around, but those are the three that you can easily target here.
It would be nice if we could get some metaspace stuff, just so that we can, like, potentially have it available for repairing or refitting the jump drive thing. You know, the emergency get out of jail free drive card.
Emergency psych drill.
That's the one. I feel like that would probably need metaspace stuff.
It does.
Yeah, probably.
Computing and metaspace.
Let me see. What do we need to actually get a gun? We have the conversion.
Well,
I feel like probably.
charge cannons are
guess
just
probably
10,000 and a conversion. So I think we've worked out we've got the pre-tech for that. The big guns a lot.
For one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 5 things of 4 different types. So.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. The only one it doesn't need is amp.
So I'm just trying to find the list of what we still what we still need pre-tech for.
Yeah.
All the ship status ones.
Right. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I thought I didn't realize that was a question. Yeah, if you'd like, I can throw them on your screens for you.
I've scrolled into the ship status bit. Is it?
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a. Oh yeah. I was gonna say, oh hey, there is a tab that's just a list of the pre-tech components we need, and then I realised, wait, no, it's just the descriptions of the pre-tech components.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the descriptions.
Yeah.
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 I
Blast.
think I have that. Yeah, that it's editable. What? It's editable by the players that were here last campaign. Let me make that editable to all of you, because you can use that for whatever purpose you want. If it's to mark down, I think last campaign mark down how many of each they had. You can certainly mark down how much you need, or make notes on what fittings need
what
that.
we're wanting.
Yeah.
I like planning ahead for what we want. It would make the most sense. I have been tracking what we have in the Raza, but of course there's only the one conversion one
Yeah.
Yeah.
from the Raza's notes.
Just make sure that if anybody is editing before you save it, make sure that nobody else is editing.
Yeah.
Roll20 is not share friendly like that. Well, while you guys are pondering your options, somebody ask some other question from that you might have discovered on your tour, so that I can fill the air with narrative.
Are we passing by like a lot of those like cryopods or stasis pods with all the people?
You're not. The stasis pods are the stasis pods are very contained. It's like having a Exodus Bay that was built, and then the rest of the ship was built around it.
Interesting.
So it's just one gigantic block in the middle of the ship, and everything else had to be built around it. If you didn't want to go around it on your tour or on one of the legs back or on the leg back, you certainly could have passed through it. I can answer a question there if you like.
I was more just wondering if, like, seeing all of these bodies was, a factor or not.
Hmm.
It's probably best that we're not seeing such a thing.
It probably wouldn't be anyways. Well, it might not be anyways, I should say, because even passing through, even if you did pass through the Exodus Bay, you're not seeing people in bodies in their little pods. Remember, they're more like in drawers that have to be pulled out, and then slid down.
You can think of it like a giant morgue.
Yeah, it's a giant morgue.
I'm sure that made the people who are being put into it optimistic about their chances.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, also, when we were up around the bridge that you mentioned, Dex, did we find a map of any sort?
You know what? I think that's reasonable. Yeah, there would have been a physical map on the ship, especially near the bridge. So something that you could have taken a couple of minutes to shear off. It would have been on a metal plate and just bolted to the wall. So you could shear that off, and you could actually carry a physical metal map around with you if you want. Or you can just take a picture of it.
I was going to say, I feel like take a picture would be easier.
Yeah.
Take a picture to last longer.
Now, my next question is, has language changed so much in the past 600 years that it's incomprehensible, or can we actually read it?
At least can read it.
Damn it.
You're welcome.
I believe I said that it was British English compatible.
Yes.
So anyone that speaks British English or has British English as a language can make it out. It's a little bit like reading Ye Old English, even though Ye Old English is inaccurate.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so in that case, at least is there anything interesting that we've not considered that might be useful?
I pass that over to the GM. Is there anything?
Tell you what, why don't you everyone pick make either a wisdom perform check or a wisdom notice check.
Ooh, hello.
Perform. That's a skill I have.
Yeah.
Wisdom notice. I'll bite.
Yeah, wisdom notice again.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, that's the same. I shall perform.
Oh, goodness.
Not my best work.
Not your best work, no.
But if only Nox was here and rolled an 8, we would have a straight.
Have a straight, yeah.
Well, at least as you're passing by, you're just about finishing your loop here. You've gotten the map. You're contemplating, trying to strategize your attack on this ship. It's not unusual for a site this size to spend a couple of hours initially, maybe even a whole day sometimes, setting up the logistics of what you want to scrap, how you want to use your limited manpower. Excuse me. And you're passing by one of the ship bays as the crew is talking about the locations and what you expect to find there. Douglas can certainly weigh in on what kind of effect would need pre-tech to create. Elise notices out of the corner of her eye that the walls of this ship bay, this fighter bay, look well. They look dirty. There's something odd about them, like somebody has just decided to turn them into a cell shaded drawing. It's probably not the best description, but there's lines all over it. Thick black lines all over this one little sliver of wall that she sees as she's passing through. Well, not passing through the ship bay, but passing down the hallway. Um, I'm assuming you're not going to let that go, so she pauses and looks back over, maybe calls some of them, and what just looked like could have been dirt or poor maintenance or a cartoon drawing that has lines all over the place for no understandable reason. Um, there is written in something closer to actual spacer, something understandable to everyone, text, something written across every single wall. The black ships are coming.
It will have that translated for everyone else.
Yeah. I suppose it wouldn't be immediately readable to others, but just like those old English things, once you see the actual translation and you see that like the V is actually an S or whatever, you can all see that translation. You can see those words, that phrase written, scrawled, chicken scratched across every wall of this fighter bay. The black ships are coming.
Well, that ain't ominous at all.
Did you guys bring anyone with you? Well, anyone, I mean. I guess you've got others. Koana, Libra, Natario, or Acid?
Any of them want to come along, I guess. I mean, let's be honest, we're probably, if we're going to be here for a while salvaging, then we're probably all going to need to be familiar with the... Or actually, you know what? I think since we don't know that it's safe yet, we probably would have taken Libra, but left everyone else.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna put Libra under your control, Enviro.
Oh, okay, okay.
You know, to reiterate, the green dot on Libra means that matches Viral's green text. Player color.
Sounds good.
Libra looks in and has a similar reaction to Douglas. That's a lot of writing. Oh, and did I say the roof also? Yeah, the roof also. You know, if you consider the roof a wall, since you're in space.
I mean, it's just a. I mean, is it a wall or is it a ceiling? Or I'm sorry, a floor. You know,
right.
it's just. I mean, here we could just. I mean, we're in 0G, right? So you can just kind of like jump up there. And now it's boom, new floor.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Do this.
Yeah.
Every inch or every meter, I guess I'd say, of flat space that isn't occupied by some kind of equipment or machinery has this scrawled across it.
Yeah, that's definitely ominous. Are there any like famous or notorious black ships from either history or, I suppose, not folklore, but like
Mythology.
you know how you were talking about how Mr. Jack is a sort of
Sure.
story, like it's a sort
Yeah,
of
go ahead and roll
story. There's
no.
a big man. Oh god, okay.
This
I
would be
imagine
an
that's
hint
probably
no.
not int.
Yeah.
Int no. Exactly my reaction to volume with int. Int no. Go on then. Could be worse.
None that you recall.
Huh. I'll probably put that question to the rest of the group then.
Yeah.
Does anybody else know of any like stories or legends or history about black ships? Or even just like notorious ships that happen to be black?
And to the rest of the crew, that's not ringing any bells.
Hmm.
Huh.
Now, there certainly are ships that are black. Spectrestar Technologies tends on the uh, more stealth ship types, as much as you can, and they don't tend to paint their ships bright, easily visible colors to the naked eye. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's
At the same time, I doubt they've been around for more than 600 years.
yeah. Spectrestar Technologies has definitely not been around for 600 years. They were a Harbinger Robotics before Spectrestar Technologies, which was just robots and didn't have their own stealthy black ships.
And also probably hasn't been around for 600 years.
Right, that too.
Or rather, like the combined lifespan of the two probably isn't that far back. Unless this was written more recently, but then why would it be?
Sure, I do think that I'd have to check my notes. It's not terribly relevant, but Harbinger Robotics was one of the original founding like colony companies to come out here. So they would have been older than 600 years ago, but they still there are no clear ties or threads that would connect them here. And certainly nothing to capitalize black ships. I think that's the distinction between
Like there are ships that are black, and there are things that are
The
called
black
black
ships.
ships.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That there in all that scrawl is being treated as a event, a thing, not just happen to be ships that are black. Are you guys just kind of standing outside, or are you actually going in and looking at it?
Unless someone else make the call, I'm tallying up the pretext stuff that we need.
Okay, so Percy is not going in to this bay.
I mean,
am
I'm
okay
not going to be the
entering
first one marching.
Spooky Bay either.
If somebody else, no, I mean, if somebody else goes in there, I'm happy to go with. I'm just not making the decision because I am, as a person, I'm
Oh, I
tallying.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
I
Percy
do not
himself
wish
will
to go into the Spooky
go to the
Bay.
group.
That's all I'll say.
Okay. Well, I'll make the question more directed. Does anyone want to investigate the Spooky Bay? Does anybody actually go in to investigate it?
I mean, is there any reason not to go in and investigate it?
I don't know. There's an
It's
awful
not-
lot of silence, so that was my next question.
This is a fire bay, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, let's go see if there's tech at least.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, sure, I'm happy to go along.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that you recognize, notice as you get closer to the scrawled writing is it wasn't made with your everyday Sharpie. It wasn't painted. It isn't permanent marker. It isn't appear to be ink of any sort. First of all, the letters appear very slightly indented into uh, the metal plating. Um, on closer examination of that, it looks like the visibility of them, the fact that you see in black writing, the black ships are coming, is because it the metal itself underwent a chemical transformation. It got scorched. This is all pressure scorched into the wall. Every last letter.
Oh.
Can I do it? Can I test with my retech toolkit? You know, to, like see how it compares if I tried writing.
Yeah, sure. Um, there's, it's something that the Pretech toolkit can accomplish. You can certainly apply
Yeah.
pressure enough to dent the wall here. And maybe it's just something that needs atmosphere, but yeah, doesn't seem like that. No,
Doesn't get the same result. Okay.
yeah, it's not the same result, and pressing hard enough to create that kind of heat and burn or scorch like that is something that your pre-tech toolkit could probably do, but would make a much deeper indentation.
Hmm. Is this like laser compression or something? Somebody's burned the top layer of the wall away.
Why don't let's go ahead and have everybody give me a no skill check. Elise, hang on that. Let me see all the other no skill checks before you roll, Jackal.
Okay then.
Presumably intelligence.
Yes, please. Oh, I think that's all I'm getting, isn't it?
Would you like me to roll now or still
Wait,
no?
I should have one more roll though, I thought. Oh no, I do
Yeah,
have
Jackal.
4 of you here. Yes, I've got 5 players, one of them is out. I've got 3 rolls. Got it.
Mhm.
Yeah, but why don't you make your wisdom instead?
Okay. 2. Oh. I was
Almost.
listening into existence.
Almost. Okay. So, huh. The process is unknown how you would accomplish it. But it's more than just a laser, and I'm going into technobabble here. More than just a laser compression. There does appear to be compression involved in some way. In somehow compressing the very space itself instead of, or pressurizing the space itself, instead of just pressing on the wall. Something very strange and or powerful did this.
What sort of style are the letters written in? Is it block text like a machine did it, or is it more handwriting-y?
It's more handwriting-y.
Okay. Are all of the letter forms the same, or is there some variation, like it's a proper
Oh, there's
handwriting?
variation. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
My thought was that if it's something that's like warped the space itself, the first thing I thought of was distortion cannons, which are a type of firearm. However, that
Of course, you
doesn't.
think of guns first.
Well,
I am gonna go ahead and use
but with
Das's
that,
role to say that there's no known tech that would produce this effect.
Okay.
I was gonna say it also occurred to me that you can't really get anything nearly as neat as handwriting if you're writing it with a gun and be like trying to write with a hose.
Yeah.
Except a hose doesn't have the risk of blasting through the wall unless you happen to be in Japan and the wall is made of folded paper.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe there'll be something else.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna move you along. There's nothing else to discover here.
No, I was gonna say maybe there'll be something else in another part of the ship.
Yeah.
Yep. I think you're both going the same direction there.
Yeah, that's a point actually. On the map of the ship, does it list any more armories anywhere apart from the one that we raided for
It
the
does.
vac suits?
It does.
Ooh. Okay, let's just unload the contents of them, if still functional, into our own armory.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Like salvage is all well and good, but that'll probably salvage and pre-tech is
Yeah.
all well and good, but that'll probably take longer.
It's like, well, you said there was an armory on this ship? Not anymore.
Yeah. There's an empty
Now
armory on
there's
this ship.
Well, no, there's a room on this ship that looks like it's kitted out to be an armory, but it's not
Yeah,
really an armory anymore.
Yeah, there's a room on this ship with armory written on the door.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That is something that you'll be able to loot here.
Nice.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I think actually I think what Percy would do is, since he probably won't be very helpful with the whole salvaging operation, actually, I was going to say, since he won't be very helpful with the salvaging, he might suggest that him and Libra go and start unloading the armory into the Vaza. But then it occurred to me that we are probably two of the team's strongest combatants. And since we don't know that this place is safe, and we've also just seen this spooky thing, he would not want to leave the rest of the party undefended at that point. I mean,
Yeah.
not undefended, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's also taking apart equipment and all that is obviously right for the techie sorts, but there's gonna be a lot of work for everyone, experienced and otherwise, in the whole salvaging operation.
Hmm.
Yeah. Percy,
Okay.
Libra, Kawana, none of you guys are gonna be without something to do.
Oh yeah, I know we'll have stuff to do as like extra muscles to move stuff about, if nothing else.
Yeah.
But just while everyone else was sitting here, like, wringing their brains over the mysteries of the technical parts of the ship, I was ready to just start hauling guns.
Oh, I get you.
But then again, like I say, the characters don't know that the ship is safe, so
Well,
like it's not. He's not quite at the point of hanging out at the back of the group twiddling his thumbs like a kid following his mum talking to a friend at the supermarket, but he's not far off it.
Well, let's focus on the list that you put up there, Viral.
Oh yeah, true.
So a list has been made of the types of pre-tech components that you need. You have an idea of where to target the computing, amp, and materials. And I'll also add in that the bridge is, if there's anything, any salvageable computer equipment, may contain data that could also be valuable, or just data that could be interesting.
Ooh, that's very true, actually.
Gas is definitely interested in data. Can get some data.
That's very true. Also, I've just a quick rundown of the counts here. By my reckoning, we need 4 materials, 4 computing, 4 conversion, 2 metaspace, and 1 amp to fix everything. Unless I missed anything. And even then, three of those 4 conversion are just for our guns.
Hmm. They're all for the guns, right? Just one's for a different gun.
Well, there's a lot for the guns, but there's.
Oh, I think all the conversion is guns, right? It's just one's in a different gun than the other 3.
True, true, yeah. Yeah, all the conversion stuff is for guns.
Yeah. I want that big gun running, but that's a lot of pre-tech to get there.
Same.
Yeah. Well,
It's
not to mention
quite possibly
the
the last thing we do, because that's a lot of pre-tech.
plus all the regular spare components.
Yeah.
Spare parts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like us to get the metaspace components that we need, because I feel like that's going to be a pain in the ass to get, and also because the metaspatial hypercannon and the emergency drill activation are both going to be incredibly useful once we get them online.
Yes.
Or at least that's what I'm hoping. Sorry, Dex, you were saying something about how you think computers will probably be up at the bridge, and that's also where we might find data that would be useful or at least interesting.
Yes. I'm typing out a list of locations, just trying to structure your operation going forward a little bit.
Good shout. I do think that Percy would probably I know, because I suppose we already are, aren't we? But now that we've actually got the map, I feel like Percy would want to structure it as less of just let's wander to whatever's interesting, and more as a sort of sweep of the ship to make sure there's nothing else that's going to jump out and start trying to shoot us with void carbines.
Okay.
Just so we can feel safe while we're salvaging.
Yeah, that works. In fact, that's I kind of the whole salvage thing I abstract into a couple of dice, obviously for mechanical reasons, but I do imagine that it also includes the security sweeps, the planning and the logistics, the transportation. So yeah, Percy and Libra organizing their routes and how they intend to keep their crew safe is good.
Yeah, it is good to make sure we don't get shot by any more space zombies ?
Indeed. So there's the basic target locations. There obviously are many more places on the ship than that, and you'll end up hitting them for general salvage. But as far as targeting for information and narrative and trying to get pre-tech components, those are what you're looking for. Which of those would you like to start with?
I'd also like to throw in before we make a decision that we should probably add to the list as well that the armory and mid bay, while they probably won't have pre-tech components we can use for the ship, they may have other useful stuff that we want in general.
Yeah, I actually forgot those two.
Yeah, good to start pretty much anywhere. Like I said in my post, I think computing or materials are probably the most efficient places for us to aim, but happy
Yeah.
with whatever.
Did mention those two, but yeah, good shout.
Yeah. Computing, I think, is the one that opens up most stuff.
Mm.
Like a lot of the materials is actually for the big gun.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to need
Yeah,
a
about
lot
half
of
of it.
a lot of that is like, yes, we need some materials, but it's going to be a while before we can actually make use of all of them. Whereas computing,
We can do
engine
right now, yeah.
optimization just needs that. EDA
Mhm.
needs that and metaspace. And the
Mhm.
drive needs computing materials and amp, which all theoretically we could get.
Mm-hmm.
So I think computing, yeah.
Is there no chance that we can find a conversion anywhere on the ship?
There is. It's just not one of the places that it's not one of the components that you're certain is going to be involved in operations.
Yeah, presumably with this being an Exodus type ship, it doesn't have a ton of weapons, so that would probably be where they were if there were going to be any.
Yeah, but with that being said, they might have needed energy conversions for other stuff as well.
This is true.
I mean, if they have any fabricators, that probably involves conversion stuff, right?
Yeah, and they did have some fabrication stuff there. So that would
So
be
maybe we can find something.
Sorry, let me say it real quick. That would be a good location that's
Mhm.
like not one of those listed targeted locations you could investigate and explore.
Yeah, I was just going to say maybe we could look there at some point.
Would you like to start there?
Mm.
Is there a reason that you're looking for the conversion there, Jackal?
Just because I don't remember if we ever got any of our weapons up, and there's one weapon that we could get up if we were to be able to find one.
Yeah, we've got one conversion, so we
Yes.
we only need parts to get one of the charge cannons running.
Oh,
But if we got but if we got another conversion, that would mean we only then need parts for 2 charge cannons. So
Which would
it's still
also
valuable
mean
to get more, I think.
would also mean that if we get 2 guns online, that'd mean that Percy and Koana can both put their skills to use in a ship fight at the same time.
Yes. And also the charge cannons have that thing of like if you fire all guns and they hit the same thing, you get cool effects. So if like that doesn't really work with only one gun, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so if they've got like fabricators that might have conversion stuff, I guess we're saying we'll go there first and have a look.
Okay. You make your way to the fabrication bays. They're tight and cramped, and well, there's dead people here. They're not moving. They've long since even stopped waving and such. And there is conversion machinery here that looks like it looks foreign. It does look alien. As much as all of this stuff does, because it's so old, and it was almost all built with the aid of SciTech. Even if the parts aren't SciTech, it still was likely fabricated with the aid of SciTech. So it just has that that kind of sleeker, almost Star Trek look to it. And so, setting up your logistics and looking into trying to take some of the stuff apart because it is going to be valuable scrap. This is going to be one of the heavy, the high density scrap spare parts sections. Douglas can make an int fix check to try and identify parts that might have a conversion component in them.
Is there any way I can assist? Maybe in sneak getting into little spaces again?
I think the spaces are too small for sneak on this one. What else you got?
Okay. Wisdom notice, spot things to potentially look at. I don't know. I do have actually with Hacker 2, I do now have the thing where I don't need the protocols, so maybe I can get the computers to give me something.
Okay. Sure. If you don't mind spending a power cell, a power cell, and sorry, by spending I mean destroying, because you'll need to make modifications to it, which will effectively render it unusable.
Right.
In order to get the power output the right for these computers. But since you guys have a ship locker, it's not really that big of a thing.
Yeah, it's like we don't have one until we go back to the ship and get another one.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me real quick. This isn't going to be hacking. Int program. Okay. Your Hacker 2 is allowing this, but it's still hacking. Programming to interface it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing locked down. It's a simple matter of navigating the interface and getting it to line up properly with your data slab, so that you can use its internal power instead of powering the screen. It gives you a little more time.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, that is going to give Douglas a +1.
Okay.
Nice.
You can see the types of things that they were fabricating, and they appear to have been mostly fabricating ship parts, but in kind of an unusual way. Go ahead and roll for me, infix Meowkin. Kind of in an unusual way, they were turning sand into ship parts.
Oh.
They definitely had a conversion component here, because they were also taking the mass of a grain of sand and somehow turning that into flexible steel strength parts that were orders of magnitude more massive than the sand it was made from.
Huh.
Douglas pulls that conversion part out.
Generating matter?
Oh, what was that, Meowkin?
Generating matter?
Yeah. That's what this little pre-tech thing that you've just managed to extract from their fabricators is doing.
Cool. So one conversion part. I guess technically it's probably somehow actually able to convert the energy into more matter.
Yeah. It's doing fucky things with energy, but they managed to work it into their processes to make steel plates and things like that. You'll be able to use it for whatever a conversion would be able to be used for.
Screw the laws of thermodynamics, I say.
It very much ignores the laws of thermodynamics.
Yeah, that's pre-tech in a nutshell. Is
how dare they?
Thermodynamics.
I know. That's how you make the universe explode or implode.
Yeah. Is that what the scream was? Just like they used too much pre-tech.
I mean, presumably,
the laws of physics,
right?
and the universe said no.
Stop it.
So you're saying that the entire universe is not only sentient but self-correcting, and the scream was basically the universe's equivalent of a fever to burn out the bacteria.
Yes.
To spur
Might
your
be.
conspiracy theories, I will say, I know what the scream was in this setting.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I assumed
Yeah.
you would.
Yeah.
I also think I know what the
Huh.
scream was.
I've heard. What were you gonna say, Meowkin?
I was gonna say, it's like I'm actually not sure if we ever figured out what the scream was. I don't think we ever did properly.
Uh,
No, did we?
There were clues laying about, but we were right at
Yeah,
the end of the
I don't.
campaign, and they weren't
Yeah, okay.
explored. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't remember. Yeah, ever. I think there were some things it's like, huh, that's coincidental.
Yeah, and some of the clues that were
What curious timing?
some of the clues that were laying about weren't identified as such yet. They hadn't been pulled together.
Yeah,
Mm.
Hmm.
interesting.
So yeah, I always think that conspiracy theories are more fun when you know that there is actually an answer out there, so you can.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not just like
Mhm.
random speculation on something that doesn't exist. It's like there is an
Mhm.
answer. We might
Though-
actually
Yeah.
be right.
Yeah. And this is
Well,
and this is why
it's-
I enjoy speculating on the GM's world building in a channel the GM can actually see.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, and also, even if there's not a definite answer, based on this conspiracy theories, the GM could make something based off of that. It's like, oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
But also, it is kind of more interesting than that. Think that, oh, you could actually just stumble on the right answer. It's nice to know there's a right answer ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
my own
Too.
personal. I know some people are
Either-
much.
I would say pros and cons either way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's like Tulare prefers the more collaborative GM just changing their world. I'm more on the side of I want when I'm a player, I want the GM to know the answer before I stumble on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I agree with that more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see the appeal of building the world
Yeah.
collaboratively
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. I like the GM to know what's happening, even if they only figure it out a session or two before I stumble on shit.
Yeah.
All right, so you've gotten a component, and spend a couple of days packaging up the other parts of this, the various spare parts. I think I'm gonna do the rolls for everything at the end of the week, and so you spent 2 days about on the fabrications, as well as the easily accessible parts of fabrications that would have extended outside of that individual room, like the connections to the power sources, engines, and all that stuff. And focusing in that area just because it's easier to have Das or to be in the same general location as Das and Douglas are working, so that questions can be answered and hotspots can be identified. After those 2 days, we're at 105. We started a little bit late here. Do you guys want a break or do you want to push through?
I'm not too bored.
I'm good either way.
Well, either way, I'm gonna step away and get some water, but I should be able to hear.
Okay.
Mhm.
Alright, I'll do this. I'm gonna push on, but if anybody needs like an actual everybody pauses for 10-15 minutes break, let me know and we'll do that.
Sounds good.
Where would you? I'm gonna wait until Meowkin gets back to before doing what I was going to do. Where would
It'll
you?
take me a bit.
What's that?
It'll take me a bit. I gotta make it sparkly.
Okay, before you go, then make sure that you can hear sound from
Yeah.
well 20.
Should be able to.
Alright, well it's
Yes.
I found a better one.
Wow.
That's sick.
Right?
It
Alright.
makes me think. It's kind of like the sound, the THX sound, like not the same, but
Mhm.
same concept where it's like starts off low and builds up.
Very much the same energy, yeah.
Nice.
Alright. Oops. 1 second. Alright. For some reason it wasn't showing up. It's still not showing up. Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright. News comes through. It is... I've put John on the ship, just because there have been some some injuries in the past on salvaging, and he's going to run logistics, be more helpful that way, at least for the size of this ship. Not trying to set him up for that for all times in the future, but for this one, yes. And John patches it through for you guys to hear and see. Oh, dang. I was not prepared. I did not have it all set up to post into chat for you also, unlike the other one.
I suppose it's time for a 10-minute break.
Nope. Thankfully, that's all pretty easy for me. Some quick copy paste from the spreadsheet that I use, and then a click and drag for the media file. Okay, I'm all set, and I'm playing it now in Roll20.
Rumors will be whispered, said Cassian LaRue, with an understanding wave during a press conference following his return from Arn XXV. The idle have time for such fancies, and it fills me with pride to see House LaRue prosperous enough that languor and comfort can idle in the same hands. In a touching speech, he laid clear his business with the Bro, to future-proof open production contracts, at great personal expense, so that the leaders of Lamy Era need never again negotiate with fist and blood. The Bro and On decide contract disputes with a physical contest, he explained, typically involving a fight. They are not mindless brutes, he went on to clarify. They simply value physical dominance more highly than financial or intellectual. It is their culture, and we should respect that. But this makes ambiguities quite dangerous to us of smaller human make, and I have seen to fighting out each and every one. Cassian was joined by his daughter, Zoe LaRue. Since turning 17, he declared with the glowing smile of a proud father, Zoe has set her heart and her mind on the noble responsibility of governing this great city. It is my firm belief she will exceed me in fairness and in wit, bringing even more wealth to House LaRue. And you can be damn sure I'll not have those heavy-handed brutes laying a fist on my delicate flower. Any father would have done the same. One eternally hopes, Cassian. One hopes. This is Sunil reporting from the opulent courtyard of House LaRue for Artemis Black Network News.
Huh. Does that mean Zoe's back on Lamiera?
It seems
like.
so. Yeah.
Unless
They
it's
got
all
a
CGI.
very convincing body double.
Yeah.
It's very funny you mentioned that, actually.
Or,
Oh
or
god, what did I
possibly just,
say?
or
It's,
possibly
you
just
know-
the news network is lying to us.
True, too.
The thing that strikes Libra the most about that is that Zoe was not a nice person.
Yeah, that's the first thing that Percy would have done, actually. He would have asked, well, Natario first, probably, but
Mhm.
yeah, Libra and Acid as well. Like, what sort of person was Zoe? Like, does this seem weird to you, basically?
Libra is willing to voice his opinion. Natario seems disinclined to get into it, but Libra voices the opinion that Zoe was a cruel and vicious thing that could never been described as a delicate flower or as being fair. She was very intelligent, though.
To be fair, nobody mentions that. Yes, as a ruler, I will be incredibly vicious and cruel to my enemies.
Mm.
And the matter of
will-
fairness,
I will point out, since turning 17, we do know a date of birth there. That is a
I
month
noticed.
bef-
I
that
wondered
is a
about that
month
too.
before we woke up from stasis.
Huh.
It is.
A month and 3 days exactly.
Huh.
So, if this, like, we've changed, or at least so people say. Maybe she
has
changed too.
But do you think she could have gotten worse?
Or maybe, hear me out. Maybe the whole thing that was going on with the Raza being slung into the being slung towards a star. Maybe that was Porcelain, Android, Zoe, and the Force Scout Dust friend. I forget his name off the top of my head.
Griffin Cage.
Griffin Cage /
Yep.
Calvin Rick.
That was him, yeah.
Right.
Maybe that was them trying to get rid of the past as pirates and turn over a new leaf.
Maybe. Why
But
not
then
wake
again,
everyone up? Why not wake everyone up?
Because they were trying to get rid of us as well. Possibly, I don't know. Although, wait, no, because Calvin Rick had amnesia as well. He remember in the news report.
Like this is the thing. Calvin Rick
Yeah.
had amnesia, or apparently.
So there's a good chance Zoe did too.
If Zoe did too, we've changed with the amnesia. Maybe she did as well.
Mm.
And this is actually like, yes, she wasn't like that before, but like neither were we, and neither was Calvin Rick apparently.
Someone give me a roll from Notario. Unskilled.
Got it.
Thank you.
All right.
Wait, how do I select unskilled?
Just leave it as no when it asks if she's proficient.
Oh, gotcha. Didn't click through it.
Oh wow.
That's
Okay.
good.
Oh.
As you guys are discussing this, is this in character? First of all, let me ask that.
Probably not these exact words, but
Right,
yeah,
but
probably.
the context of it.
Yeah, the general gist.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as you guys are kind of mulling this over and talking it through, remember everything, unless you say otherwise, everything that you do and say is being broadcast back to the Raza for safety reasons and recording, in case you want to keep it. And Notario sends a video link to you that you could flick your eye to and watch. Those of you that do watch it in your vac suit. See Zoe's 17th party. She is sweet and demure in every interaction that this camera follows.
Huh.
This is Zoe?
Uh-huh. On Lamy era with Cassian.
Wait. hang on, because our crime reports must have been out of date then.
Yeah, hers was sealed, remember?
By quite a lot. Yeah, but the reward of 2 million credits offered for safe return, and we read that on the 17th of September. Her 17th would have been the 14th of August the same year.
Bear in mind, we already had reason to doubt the veracity of those crime reports. Because they included the crime.
This is more evidence for that, yes. But
yeah.
yes. Like, those were definitely out of date if this is... Does Notario know when because presumably at some point she was missing. Like, you know, if she's on the Raza, she was missing. Does Notario know when she appears to have returned to Lamiera? Like, what's the first sighting on Lamiera?
Notario responds, says there's not even a trace of her being missing. We remember seeing the reports, and they don't exist anymore.
Huh.
Interesting.
That's weird. That's very weird.
That's incredibly weird.
Like, us not remembering things that did happen is weird. Remembering things that the records say didn't. Like, I you know, my assumption is somebody changed the records, but why and how?
Okay, I've got a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory.
Another one?
Go on.
Yeah, no, this one's even more tinfoil hat than the last one.
Awesome, great.
No. Okay, maybe not more, but close.
I'm sitting down.
So, remember we left Notario, Acid, and Libra behind, and we went on that trip to Step, which involved us doing a really long spike jump. There was something that went wrong during the jump, and then we landed and we found we had amnesia, right?
Yeah.
What if we landed in the wrong parallel universe?
And pulled the right Notario, Acid, and Libra with us?
Yes. I'll be honest, that was a hole that I hadn't realised at first, but yes.
Yeah,
this they've got more holes out of this slice of
we have
anyway.
to pull them into the... I think other than that, yes, it all makes sense, but that...
I have read a sci-fi series, and that's basically how their warp travel works, is they move to a similar universe, parallel universe.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, usually it's similar enough, it doesn't matter, you know? But you never know.
Yeah.
If things are real wrong, you might end up in a very different parallel universe.
Yeah.
I know Dex has probably, 99% probably just gone quiet to let us think about it. But if it turns out that is actually what happened, I called it first. Let everyone know that I called it first.
You'll put that in your notes.
Oh, yeah.
Got it down now.
Well, I'm gonna give you a little bit of debunking fuel for that. I'm not gonna outright debunk it because I want you to have fun with the conspiracy theory. But in that birthday party video of Zoe, the guests are like, there are very subtle tics and mannerisms. They're recoiling from Zoe as if they are expecting her to be toxic to them, and
they know someone else, and then they get that.
Yeah. They are also reacting with more surprise than you would expect if someone who's always been nice to them is nice to them.
Yeah.
So if this is an alternate reality, it is one where Zoe was also mean to people before.
And then somehow is not. That would be weird.
Okay, that is stronger evidence against my theory than I can come up with a counter argument for in the middle of a conversation. Leave it with me.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's just, it's a parallel universe. It's very similar to our own. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
if there's a theoretically infinite amount of parallel universes out there, then there should be a theoretically infinite amount of parallel universes very similar to ours out there.
Yep, exactly.
So there aren't records of Zoe being missing. Are there consistent records of her being present?
Oh, nice.
There are. I'm gonna have Elise roll me a wisdom admin. You are just killing it today. You've also got good bonuses for that.
This is what I'm made for.
There's sufficient belief, sufficient reason for Elise to believe, without even being able to remember specifics, that Lamy Era is a information authoritarian state. They are
Right.
very controlling of what information is available across the planet and what's able to, escape. Now, they can't just go out and delete things from people's computers or drives or whatever, but that happens naturally. News doesn't stay in a computer forever unless it's specifically marked to do so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There was probably some marketing genius said, hey, if we only let people keep news for 3 months, then we'll be able to sell a book in 6 months. Or sell the same story. There's some marketing, or there's some capitalistic reason for the cycling out of news, and then some personal data protection, something rather, for you being able to mark it as a favorite so your computer doesn't automatically do it. But that's the gist of that was Lamy Era is a information stronghold.
So, essentially, unless someone's got the data to prove it, what they say is truth.
Yes.
Well, this doesn't sound dystopian in the slightest.
No, of course not. I wouldn't think that.
None of my world is dystopian, except for this one thing. You found it.
Yeah, except for all of the bits. Yeah.
I may have projected my own personal dim view of the future onto this setting. Apologies.
Not there.
Nah, you're good. I already have this dim vision of the future.
Yep.
Huh.
While you're pondering that, let's go ahead and move on to your next couple of days worth of work. What do you want to focus on? What do you want to target?
I do think we should, sooner rather than later, we should dedicate a day to clearing out the med bay, the armories, and, if possible, the workshop. Because, for all we know, they might have actual probably prioritize the med bay first, because they might have actual pre-take medicine in there, which, if we can figure out how to use it, probably really potent.
Yeah.
And then weapons and workshop are probably about equal priority after that. I mean, it doesn't need to be on the third day and going forward, but just sometime soon.
Yeah.
Because if we get interrupted, that's the stuff we definitely want to be taken away from here.
Yes, this is true.
I've added the manufactory as a place that you visited.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me clarify what I mean by the med bay and workshop. So, if you spend the time to clear out the med bay and make appropriate rolls, make successful skill checks on it, then you will have the materials and basically you'll have all the credit cost necessary to install an advanced med bay on your ship using that whole flexible design thing. All you'll need to do after that is spend the time. You'll have, gotten everything else you need. The workshop is the equivalent of it's basically the same thing, but for upgrading your workshop to the final stage, that is a 2,400 parts savings. That lets you construct up to fix 3 mods.
We don't have a.
Okay.
We just have the basic mid bay, right?
You do have just the basic med bay.
Yeah. I mean, that workshop thing, that's not terribly impact. I mean, I guess technically next level I can already start making fixed 3 mods, can't I? Because of Tinker.
Yeah, you can.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't know. I haven't really planned for fixed 3 mods because there's really not many. I guess I need to think. And then it requires creative thought to come up with my own.
Sorry.
And that's too much, man.
I mean, you can brainstorm with the rest of us.
Yeah, but see, I don't know how to start the brainstorm. Anyways. Let me see. What does the advanced med bay do for us again?
Yeah, that's a question actually. What does the advanced med bay do compared to the one we have? And wait, you said the flexible design thing. So does that mean we'd need to pick one or the other?
Wait, what was that, Viral?
You said
No, we already had the workshop.
Yeah, no, you said something about like being able to use the flexible design thing to upgrade the med bay to an advanced med bay.
Oh, that just means that it still costs you power and mass on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't have to pay in spare parts or credits.
Right. No, it's just because you mentioned the flexible design for the workshop as well. So I was thinking, is it one or the other? Can we only use flexible design for one thing at once?
No. Flexible design gives you a number of power and mass. So
right. Okay.
Technically, yes, it is one or the other, but only if you have other plans for the rest of that power and mass.
And by advanced med bay, do you mean the extended med bay?
Yeah, I do. I'll fix that.
Okay, so effectively it would let us cover more people. Up to so basically it allows you to basically be treating it up to your max crew.
And also treat more severe wounds as well. The basic one is like curing lightly injured and keeping seriously injured ones stable.
Yeah.
The extended one is treatment of critically wounded.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, I was gonna say in that case, going by the same logic of we might need to be self-sufficient that got them studying medicine in the first place, I think personally would probably be pushing for the advanced med bay first.
Yeah, well, that's I think more impactful than the workshop upgrade at the moment. Much as I would like to push for upgrading the workshop as much as possible at all points. It's not really critical at the time.
I've added a little bit of extra notes there.
Nice.
Let me see. Yeah, because there's infinite power, phasing. Are the two? Is that really the only? Yeah, that's the only 2 ones in the book for Fix 3. I can do the infinite power without the pre-tech though. So if anyone has anything, if anyone has anything powered by a Type A, I can do that. Well, I won't be able to do that until we upgrade the workshop, but.
Right.
Keep in mind with the mods, I get them for half price and also minus 1 unit of pre-tech. And that does mean anything that only takes 1 unit of pre-tech can be will be no units of pre-tech.
Okay, I may take you up on that infinite power thing.
So we need to do we need to upgrade for that workshop for that. The other pre-tech thing that I can do without a pre-tech is the polymorphic blending, which will basically let you disguise armor as clothing. And change on the fly.
Would also be nice.
I think, right? Yeah, several different appearances can be loaded into it at any one time. So that's actually a pretty cool one for any subterfuge.
Yeah, it is.
And you can go around being armored and not look armored.
Yeah.
So right now I'm still hearing med bay first though. Okay.
Yeah.
Despite Douglas's not Douglas's, despite Meowkin's best pitch.
I'm not really pushing it that hard.
That's fair. All right. So for that, I'm going to need someone to make an int heal skill check, and a different person will also need to be making an int fix skill check.
I'm at +4 on in heal at this point, so.
I'm on +0 in heal, and I don't think anyone else has heal as a skill. So
Yeah. The if you remember the like what skill do I put points in? The dice said heal, and I was like, yep, I'll take that, sure.
nice.
So
Here we are.
outside of the extra dice, heal and program are the same for me.
Nice. Jackal's offering a reroll if you mess it up.
There's an int heal. That's a lot of 2s. How good do we need? Is that sufficient to warrant a reroll here?
That does warrant a reroll. You need a 10 for scraping up all the best parts here.
Yeah.
In a timely, I'll say in a timely manner. If you want to spend extra time here.
Okay.
But yeah, if you make a 10, then it wraps it up neatly into the time you're already spending salvaging and doesn't cost any extra time at all.
Yeah. Is all of the salvage going to be one scene, or?
All the salvage is not one scene. No, this is its own scene here.
Okay, cool. I'll do a reroll then. Let's see what we get. That's better.
That's more like it.
And Douglas, in fix. You're also looking for a 10 on this.
Yep, I still have my reroll, so it's fine.
I love experts.
Yeah.
I was going to make an epic call.
My favorite bit is when it's like, I should have needed a reroll for this, and I didn't.
Yeah, I was
hacking the same thing 6 times.
That was insane.
It's like, I should have needed a reroll, but nope.
Yeah, I was going to make this epic comment about experts being ridiculously good at skills, but then I remembered when I killed a zombie with max damage off on that one. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with my choice.
Yes, it's like, yes, we're ridiculously good at skills. You're ridiculously good at that.
Yeah. Like sure, the skill checks come up a lot more often, but the medbay isn't going to shoot you in the face if you fail to install it.
This is true. Yes.
Okay. With some digging around, and you of course get into the data and the computing of this a little bit also. Excuse me. Had to cough there.
You're excused.
Thank you.
I
is. No, I'll take it from viral. I don't care about Jimmy Akin.
But fair.
I appreciate the sentiment, Meowkin. Even though it wasn't aimed at me. Anyways, carry on.
Das is able to also get into the programming there. You're gonna have to recalibrate some things. They had some differences in their biology. Or maybe not differences. You'll probably need Elise to help translate some of this. Your data slab translations are proven a little bit suspect. Because some of this medical data refers to ghosts. Which should be a thing in medical stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did just fight zombies, so ghosts is, sure.
Oddly enough, no reference to zombies.
At least I'd say she saw something leaving that one person that none of the rest of us or the cameras saw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a psychic thing. Oh, maybe it's a psychic thing because there was a lot more psychics back then, right?
Is Percy bringing this? Is this in character?
If Das mentions out loud that it's talking about ghosts, then yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, should like anything Das is reading readouts and stuff, unless there's a reason to be very quiet about it, she's almost certainly muttering to herself and just. So you may just hit the word, pick up the word ghosts, and then it's like ghosts, what? And then she'd show you.
Yeah. Actually, point forward, if it's got details on like their medical stuff, then Percy would probably be asking Das to keep an eye out for anything that might explain the different rates of decomposition.
Yes, I will definitely be doing so.
Or any mention of like void skin or whatever, like an equivalent of void skin or whatever that biomod is that lets you handle vacuum for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just keep an eye out for anything like that that might explain what we saw.
None of that. I can already tell you from Das digging in, and I'm probably losing a scene here, but also a little bit of Elise going over the data with Das. Do you think that's something that would happen there?
Yeah.
If Elise is asked to help translate stuff, Elise will absolutely help.
Okay. Yeah, definitely ask them.
Then yeah, there's no medical documentation about any kind of void skins or any changes in space decomposition. The references to ghosts or some kind of ghostly effect is more in the line of calibrating medical equipment so that possession, and this is actually translating correctly as Elise reads it, so that possessed humans or hosts can be identified, and the that being included as part of their prognosis of any potential medical issues or other. Yeah. So they incorporated ghosts and possession into their medical procedures and equipment calibrations.
Are there any statistics in here of like how, what like the prevalence of each of these conditions that's listed is? Like how common is this ghost stuff?
There
Relative
isn't.
to...
It is the what documentation you find, what commentary in the code you find is along the lines of code commenting. This setting allows equipment to detect ghosts. Some coders snarky little comment there.
Yeah. It's like how to use the thing, not how to interpret the results of the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because 6 in 500 million.
It takes a little bit. It takes another couple days for to pack up the med bay like that, and to process all of that. And you've probably got one more targeted location before we roll for the week. The other locations will still be here next week, of course. So it's not like
nothing terrible happen. Assuming nothing terrible happens at the end of the first week. Yeah.
Right. That's what you're banking against. What do you want to target?
Well, since nobody else, I'm sorry, Mia, can go on.
Oh, I was gonna say the bridge because we won't need the computing parts and the bridge.
Yeah.
The data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was thinking bridge. We'll get that data.
Yeah, I was going to say that since nobody is seeing anything, I was going to mention our armory, but that's a relatively low priority in the grand scale of things.
Don't worry about the armory.
I'm
I'm including that in the whole week.
Okay. But I'm happy to go for bridge then.
But I'll list it so that it's made clear there.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, there's a point actually. At some point when we're wandering around, I assume we'll pass through the Exodus Bay at some point, like just in passing.
yeah.
Thanks. Okay. In that case, Percy would actually like to not open one of the stasis pods, but look at the person inside and see if there's any decomposition going on.
Oh, but you have to open it to look at them.
God damn it. Okay.
They are in drawers.
Yeah.
True.
Well,
Damn it. Okay.
Tell you what then, Percy.
Yeah, I was imagining
I'll
something
open
more
it.
like...
You have a gun ready.
That was my next suggestion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be honest. I was envisioning something more like the tubes that we got in Futurama that Fry uses to go to the year 3000 in the first place. But yeah, drawers. Okay.
Yeah, drawers.
Yeah, I'll start.
Drawers in a
that
morgue.
case,
Welcome to
fair.
the world
Okay.
of tomorrow.
In that case, yeah, I will stand by with my mag rifle, and if Das wants to open one and see if there's
I'll
decomposition,
open one
then
and I'm interested. I want to see what's going on here. Yeah. So we'll pick one and open it.
All right. Somebody roll me a D100.
Shall I do it because I'm opening or?
Yeah, go for
Sure.
it.
34.
Ooh, all right.
That seems okay, right?
It
Yeah.
semes okay, sure.
Oh, it's very
it's only-
very middle. You know.
it's only 34% decomposed.
Mm.
Now, for sake of ease and three-dimensional accommodation, are you picking one that's near to the floor?
I think so.
Okay.
Unless Percy points to
I mean,
one up high, it's probably like the second one up or something.
I mean,
You
what
know what?
really is up high? Remember, we're in ZRG.
You know
Well,
what?
yeah.
No, actually.
Ship
Ah,
relative.
true. Yeah. I was about to
So-
say Percy would actually suggest one up high because the person won't have mag boots, so they'll fall to the ground if they try and lunge at us. But then, you can mention 0G. Yeah.
So the
Yeah, so it
the
doesn't
design
matter.
of these does require the drawer pulls out, right? And then it's kind of like a library ladder in that it has to come all the way down to what is identified as the floor before it can be opened. So no matter
Right.
whether you went up high or pull it up from the drawer from a drawer on the ground, it'll still need to be in the same position. That's just part of the opening procedure there.
Mm.
And it comes with its
I mean,
own rails on which it slides down.
It makes sense because if you actually have someone in stasis, you can't really get them out of stasis 20 meters up in the air.
Right. And the ship is still also designed with gravity in mind.
Yeah, even though there's currently none. Yeah.
Yeah. So you pull one out, set it upright. There is a small window in it that you can see a little bit through, but it's that kind of like almost frosted window that just really isn't useful except to except to see that there is somebody inside.
Mhm.
It's not empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Found one
Well,
is
that's
not
useful.
empty. It's also useful enough to see that the person inside is not moving at the moment.
Also handy.
Yep. Yeah. I think if they were moving, we just wouldn't open it. But then
Yeah.
if they had the capacity to move, they might know that and choose not to move. So I don't think we can read much into it.
The double bluff.
Yeah.
It's fairly easy to open once you've got it seated and in position. You just have to break some of the locks that were designed to prevent exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
But they're not very rigorous locks. There's not that much concern of somebody coming by and saying, "Oh, I wonder what's in this loot drawer."
Yep.
When you do open it, you find someone who has been in an unpowered vacuum sealed chamber for hundreds of years. Now, normal opening process would have included
Oh.
powering it up to put atmosphere into it so that they're emerging from atmosphere, stasis atmosphere into ship atmosphere. Obviously, you don't have to do any of that. They look as decomposed as the other dead people on the ship, which is that slight bit more decomposed than the
Right.
walking and moving.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So, what do you make of that, Das?
That tells me that the stasis would have failed at the same point as everything else. There's no backup.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
But that keeps the question of what was going on with the other ones that they didn't. So,
Yeah. Well, there was that thing.
given we know, given from this, the stasis seems to have cut out fairly quickly. That removes the possibility that it was just they were in stasis and the ones on the bridge weren't, which means either they decayed slower or at some point they stopped decaying.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder if it's got anything to do with you and Elise were talking earlier, and I heard you saying something about ghosts. And at least
Yeah,
she
the
saw
medical
something floating out of
stuff
one of them.
had
So
some weird stuff in it,
Mm.
and I thought the translator was going on weird things, but no, it actually does say that.
Huh. So maybe those 6 still had their ghosts for whatever reason, and the rest of them didn't. I wonder.
Maybe.
Huh. Dex, is there any sort of like identification on this drawer of who the person inside was?
There's a number.
Okay, that's good enough. What I'm thinking, or what Percy's actually is, here's a thought. Percy will just like assume that was him just going and looking and verifying there is a number. Here's a thought, kid. Tell me what you think of this. What if we look at the... So we can see the number here, right? Can you take a note of that, actually? I wonder if the ship has a log anywhere of all the people who were in the stasis pods. Because if it does, then we could see if we can find the 6 open drawers, those 6 zombies that attacked us. Look at the ship's records. See
if there's any commonality between those.
See if there's a commonality between those 6 that they don't share with this one.
Yes.
If I was a betting man, I would say that the commonality will be that those 6 were psychic. But I don't know.
But you're not a gambling?
Yeah, Percy's not a gambler.
Yeah.
It does mean we'll need to find the 6.
Well,
that does mean that we'll need to find the 6 drawers for those other 6 people, though. And as he says that, Percy will we'll just look at the fucking wall extending off practically into infinity of pods.
Yeah.
And then he will turn and look and get more racks of them.
Presumably, it'd be near where the first one was opened, right? And we know where that was because that Sage did that.
True. Let's go.
So if we go there and try and find like another 5 open drawers that are empty.
Yeah, the person, that one wouldn't have had mag boots at the time, so they'll probably be pretty close to ground level as well, which should make things easier.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, it's all easy anyways, because the drawers that were opened have all been left at ground level.
Excellent.
It's almost like they knew what we were going to check.
Yeah, so I guess we'll take notes of the numbers that were on those 6 drawers as well. Just so we can go check against a directory if we can grab one out of the computers, if we can scrounge it out somehow.
Yeah. Sure. And if there are any other drawers that are open with a non-zombie body, I'll take a note of those as well. Basically, any drawer that's open,
True, yeah.
I'm noting down what number it is and whether it was a zombie or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are
Although
you
this is-
defining zombie or not as body is still here as opposed to body is not here?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm assuming there's only
Yeah.
6 where it's not. If there's more than 6, then I need to
Then raise the
rethink
alarm.
the scheme.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
there's
going
more
to
than 6
interrupt you
empty,
just real quick here.
Sure.
As this conversation is kind of occurring, again, not in these exact words, but as it's going over and you're talking about these, something strikes Elise there about the number of bays, stasis pods you expect you've calculated to be in here, and that that strange poem that came across Artemis Black Network News. And I'm drawing it to this is one of those character competence moments where it's a lot easier for characters in the moment than it is for players stretched across weeks. Particularly the part about the a billion windows rest shuttered. Windows being the eyes. Eyes being the windows to the soul. And if there are 500 million corpses here, there are a billion eyes.
Oh.
So, how do you want Elise to process that, Jackal? Does she say anything? Does she keep this to herself?
I feel like it's probably just like one of those off the cuff, like, I guess that's what that means kind of things. Like very nonchalant, just like, oh, okay. As she says it out loud.
Okay. In case it's helpful for anybody, I will link directly to that for you.
Like, the sleepless rest of shuttered souls, best let be.
Just thought, at least said she saw some sort of light in leaving that one that got killed, right? Abandoned play spaces. Play spaces as in, like, the body being something for some psychic entity to possess. If the person's actually dead, if it's just a corpse, then there's nothing there to fight possession. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put my tinfoil hat on.
Yeah.
Specifically, conspiracies aside, have fun with them later. Specifically, what I want to draw attention to is that this little poem came from ABNN, and there are striking similarities in it to what you're finding here. That's what I'm trying to draw attention to.
Yeah. And it also, I will sort of point out again, I think I pointed out last time, the date that was sent, I believe, is the same as the date that Sage opened that first pod.
It is.
Oh.
What a coincidence.
Oh. I'm not quite sure how yet, but I know that's significant.
Yeah. And the same date that Sage died. So, yeah.
But it's another point in favor of how in the heck does ABNN know this stuff?
Indeed. Like basically nobody knows this stuff, and somehow ABNN is broadcasting it.
I mean, ABNN could have just been a method for it to be transported, not necessarily they deliberately posted it.
Yeah,
true. Because this was the only ABNN post that we've seen that didn't have a reporter.
This is true. Yeah,
There's
like
just a convenient
hijacking
thing
onto the ABNN transmission or
broadcast.
something.
Yeah.
So I didn't catch what you said there, Jack. What was that?
Oh, it's just a convenient thing to broadcast from.
Yeah.
Possibly, if you're getting paranoid, this wasn't even an ABNN broadcast, which would have gone to everyone, but this was something deposited directly to us made to look like an ABN ending.
We confirmed other people received it.
Yeah, we
Oh,
checked. I
shit.
think others got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Scratch that then.
Yep. You already had that conspiracy theory and explored it.
God damn it.
We're going back to the same conspiracies now.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yep.
Do you know what? It's annoying because I had a new one a minute ago, but then I forgot it because we were talking.
It'll come back, I'm sure. Speaking of
Yeah, well,
cycles,
yes.
You reached the bridge.
Right, yeah, I remember. Sorry, go on.
With your tools and preparations to begin salvaging. Oops, why did I go there? Bad click. So, quite possibly the most interesting thing on the bridge is going to be any data on computers, if assuming they still preserve that data, as well as whatever is contained within that black box.
Oh, there's a thought I hadn't thought about.
I think we're looking at both. Let's get what we can data-wise, and
Yeah.
I think
Remember, see if you
I
can find
think-
some sort of directory of like the people that were here.
yes. I think first priority, especially given this is old tech and unknown condition, first priority is going to be, well, very first priority is approximately how much data do we have here that we could potentially obtain. Second priority is, if that fits into storage devices that we have, copy it onto storage devices that we know work.
Okay. Those are fair questions. Let me hit them one at a time. I forgot the first question.
Approximately how much data?
Oh, it was
to judge whether it'll fit on all of our storage devices.
Oh, okay. I now I know why I forgot it, because the answer is not answering that question. Not directly answering it.
Okay.
Das has had enough interaction with these systems. She burns another A cell, but again, you don't really have to track that. That's just for knowledge purposes. In fact, for this, she probably has to burn a B cell.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
Just plug in Libra.
Libra might not appreciate that. There is a lot of degradation of data, and there's no direct networking between the bridge and any other parts of the ship. That's not because it was designed that way, it's because the ship is derelict.
Yeah. Like, we've got power here, but not wherever else the data might be.
Yeah. And there's going to be lines in between that, even if you power both parts.
There's some repeater or some networking thing in the middle that isn't.
It would be a whole big project to try and get data networked across the whole ship. It's definitely going to be easier to do it in parts. And to that end, because of the degradation of the data, the coding, and also the foreignness of it, DAS is going to need to use 2 line shunts to secure and be able to like hold it basically long enough for data transfer to the Raza. You'll also need very long cables, because I'm kind of dancing around. The amount of data is staggering. The amount of usable data would probably fit on a compad once, just as a quick estimate. But you can't part them out yet.
Yeah.
You need a bigger computer, like your ship's or your workshop's computer.
Right. So it's like there is a ton of data. What's useful would fit on a compad, but it has to get to the ship before it gets that small.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do we have cables that are long enough?
Oh yeah. The cables aren't the problem. The only things that you'll really need to worry about for them are that it would require your ship to be kept open. Not like open, but um, it requires some additional considerations.
Yeah.
All of them physical, or not physical, fictional. All of them part of the narrative. It's just like the imagery of you've got this derelict but clean walled, sterile walled Star Trek like ship, and you're just running wires along the floor.
The just the mental image of like this is like metal and plastic and all clean and shiny, and there's just this kid unspooling wire along the corridor. That's great.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah, if it works. Okay. So, but effectively, it looks like the amount of data in here is like it's not unreasonable to dump it all into the ship and then process there. That's kind of the way we've got to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I just the main thing I was wanting to check is like if there's so much data that we can't even do that, it'd then be a case of okay, let's prioritize what we want to look at and so on. But if we can just dump it all into the ship and then process it there, that's definitely preferable because we know that computer works and isn't going to like horribly crash halfway through.
Yeah, and you can you can sandbox things so that you're not too worried about viruses or anything like that.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's a process, however, that will need to be kept running for some time before you start dismantling things. You'll need to, if you want to do that, you'll need to save the bridge for later. As far as getting the parts and the component from it. You also do have to expend the line shunts for it.
Yeah, you said 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Handily, I have exactly 2.
I know you do because you saved one.
How?
Yes. Yes. And this is why I took the extra time on the ship.
I had forgotten that you only had 3 when I was setting this up.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I started with like 6 or something, and then I've just been slowly using them, and we haven't got any more.
They are intended to be difficult to get, so that's working.
Yeah. I think this is worth using the last 2 for, especially now that I've got Hacker 2 and the duration's up anyway. You know, like the minimum duration on a hack is like 30 minutes at this point.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, we need them a lot less than before.
Nice. Anyways, yeah. I think if we need to leave the bridge for a bit, then we should target the other kind of, or the place that's likely to give us the other kind of pre-tech we need the most of, which is materials.
So
unless anyone's got any other suggestions.
There is one other place you can get computing, if you want to double up on that.
There's no meta space, right?
There's no clear and easy metaspace. There is still a chance for metaspace to be randomly rolled.
Okay.
So, like, if you're not... let me reorganize my thoughts. I may have had too much caffeine already. Each of these target locations where it says is likely to have computing, what that really means is... I was writing it in what your characters know. For your purposes... Bridge is going to have a guaranteed computing. That's the first thing you can roll on. After that, with the big areas, the bridge, the Exodus Bay, ship structure, and engineering, those are all the big areas. The manufactory was a bonus, but those top 4 will have their guaranteed part, and then you can roll for others. The others will be random. And can be random from any of the things.
We might get a meta space.
Yeah.
from any of them.
From wherever,
it's just not going to be the first one, and it's going to be like maybe we get one, maybe we don't.
Yeah, and there is a limit. Like each site is going to have limits on how many of each type it can yield. So keep that in mind also.
Mm-hmm.
You won't end up with 5 conversions if you went for amp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if we end up with 5 conversions from anywhere, then we can get some really good guns on the go.
Those limits are mainly in place to protect your targeting. Like if you say we're looking for ruins where we can get conversion components, and you get there, you get the 1 guaranteed conversion, and then you successfully go for like 3 more, and they all turn into amps, and you don't need any amps. By limiting the random ones to just 1, you can get 1 amp, 1 materials, and then you're narrowing back down to, hey, the next one could be conversion again.
Yeah, like we've get the junk out of the way.
It's weighting the dice in your favor.
Junk, but
I'll be honest, when you said that it's to protect your, and then paused for a second, I thought you were going to say game balance.
Oh no! It's to protect your the choices that you make. You went somewhere for this thing. I'm trying to weight the randomness in your favor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So are we going to go for the computing stuff in the Exodus Bay, or do you want to go for ship structure for materials? Because those are the 2 things we need the most of. Or do we want to do something else?
I'd be fine with doubling down on computing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because we need that for like all the engine stuff, basically.
True.
Yeah. The emergency material activation, the energy optimization, and the drive.
Just adding a little note to the armory that you got there, so that you know what you actually got there.
Ooh. Pre-tech guns.
Yeah. They're not actually. They're not actually pre-tech. They're functionally, mechanically equivalent to anything you can get off the equipment list.
Right.
But they're made with enough pre-tech parts that they sell for more, which is 100,000 per ton.
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
Ka-ching!
It is 10 times more than small arms energy.
Ka-ching!
Do we get a number on the native art?
Yeah. The native artwork is 10,000
we got
per
3
ton.
tons. 10,000 per ton. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and you said Exodus Bay next because you're going for the computing?
Sounded like it, yeah.
Okay. It's not hard to find the central processing of the Exodus Bay. It's more or less central to the Exodus Bay.
Das, you should see if you can, or Ginja, you should see if Das can get any information out of this as well. This might be where they get the list of whoever it is and where.
Yes. If there's any computery bits in the Exodus Bay that look like data storagey bits, we'll definitely try and get off those as well.
Yeah, there certainly are. Let's resolve that first. Go ahead and have Das make a int program. This is hacking.
This is hacking. Okay, that'll be a 15.
Okay.
I was about to ask if there's any way I could help, but there you said hacking. I went, nope, no need.
Yeah. I don't think I've rolled below like a 10 or something. Yeah.
Fortunate for that.
Of course, I've said that now. The next roll is going to be 4 1s, but we'll see.
There are no line shunts necessary.
Good.
And Das is able to basically get general, I think it's general data. Oh, I'm trying to find 55. Why am I trying to find 55? I'm trying to go to 55. You're trying to get general information. You're pulling all available information on a particular topic, which is the the roster that's there. Who is who? What is their name? What is their classification? They have a military rank? What's their profession? Are they identified as a psychic? All of that is actually included in the personnel, or not personnel, the storage database, which was password protected. You did have to hack into it. It had sufficient security for what kind of personal information it holds. It just wasn't sufficient against DAS.
Yep.
Yeah, I do feel like bringing DAS to a data security equation is like bringing a cannon to a knife fight.
Yeah. There's no immediate pattern that forms from any of the drawers that were opened. None of them were psychic, first of all.
Well, there goes that plan. See, this is why I don't bet on things.
While you're pondering your next step with this computer system, I'll let Das, anything you come up with after this, I'll let Das have accomplished first. Let's go ahead and let Douglas roll against that pre-tech.
Yeah.
Does
Okay.
somebody other than Das want to help him with that? She is a little preoccupied.
I feel like it'd probably be Elise or Libra if anyone, because Percy's interested in what Das is looking at.
Okay.
Like this has been sort of the mystery that they're delving
I
into.
won't be very good at it.
What was that, Jackal?
I can attempt to assist, but I doubt I'll be any good at it.
Libra could try and assist. What is it again?
Well, it's whatever skill you want to use other than fix. Whatever skill you can justify other than fix, which would help Douglas identify the most likely place for the computing components to be.
I'd say Libra can melt things up to it.
Okay, yeah, Libra can certainly help with the physical destruction component.
I'll be honest, I was going to suggest Exert.
Okay. Then go ahead and Viral, go ahead and roll for Libra. She is proficient at what you're asking her to do.
Yeah, it's like I see it back there. I see it back there. I just need, let's get that out of there.
Yeah. Oh god, where's the button for volley on her sheet?
Oh, top right line of squares. One of them should say skill, I think.
Right, yeah, there it is. Would this also get the +2 to skill checks involving pure strength or endurance from being a physical android?
Sure. I think it would.
Yeah.
Just remember, don't include the plus, just include the number.
Yeah. Proficient and modifier 2.
Okay. That is unfortunately not.
Yeah.
Oh, did that include the modifier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She
Sadly.
rolled pretty low. That's not going to be enough to help Douglas.
All right. We're doing this old-fashioned way then.
Damn it.
In the fiction, she is still helpful. It's just not enough for mechanical.
Libra goes breaking stuff to try and help you get to the computers, but then you realise that the computers were actually somewhere you could reach the whole time.
No. Her efforts are helpful. It's just that it doesn't apply a mechanical bonus to the following roll. So go ahead and roll that.
But and fix, yeah.
Fortunately, you didn't need the bonus this time.
Yay!
You get a computing part.
Like I say, because I know some of these can definitely reach 12s.
You can roll again, and the difficulty is 12. This is where it becomes random.
Yeah.
Go get him.
I don't know. Presumably the rest of our collection here is all going to be the same scene, right? But it's probably worth using my reroll. +3.
It's more potential pre-tick. I'd say it's probably worth. Like, there's worse things to spend it on, you know?
Yeah.
Even if you do find something better later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go. Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and use my expert reroll. Don't have the greatest of. Oh, hey!
There's your 12. Okay. Me start taking a little better notes for myself here. Oh, there we go. 1 second.
This surely isn't ominous at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. I get a pre-tech zombie.
Yeah,
I'm sure how to fit that in the ship, but
you joke, but oh shit,
we are in the Exodus Bay.
I've just had a thought. I was gonna say, when you said pre-tech zombie, I was gonna say you joke, but Revenant Wires are a thing, and then I went, wait.
Did we do an investigation of the zombies?
Not a very close one, no.
Well,
No.
hang on, no, because we know that I don't think it's going to end up being like, I think we have a fairly strong indication it's not cyberware, because we basically severed one of their arms and it didn't lose use of that arm. Like, the arm wasn't attached and it was still using the arm. Like, that's not cyberware.
The arm could have had its own processor built in. Octopi have like 2/3 of their brain matter in their tentacles, so they can actually move independently of the main brain.
Yeah, that wouldn't keep the arm like in the same place relative to the body, though, right? That would just mean they were both able to do things.
Wait, was that not the case?
I think the arm stayed in place.
The arm did stay in place
even
until...
after it got cut. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, no, in that case, I'm going back to my previous idea of psychic ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah, like, yes, it could have been cyberware, but the arm thing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Could be cyberware, but arm.
Yeah, it'd have to be like a magnetically attached thing or something, you know? Which I guess is possible, but...
I was about to make a joke about anti-gravity, but then I remembered that it was actually moving, so the arm would have just stayed floating in place.
Yeah. And wasn't it like using that arm to shoot or something as well?
Yeah.
I don't recall.
Yeah.
Oh,
like it wasn't even that the arm was staying with it. It was like it was actively using the arm.
Which, like I say, would still be possible if it was a sort of octopus situation and the arm had its own processor.
Yeah.
But then again, that's an oddly specific situation. Where would you program for that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very oddly specific cyberware.
Yeah. Yeah, very oddly specific cyberware. It lets your limbs function independently of your brain and each other.
Yeah.
Warning, left hand may impede efforts of right hand.
Yeah, there's reference in the medical bay to phantom limb cyberware. Literally phantom limbs.
Ah.
I'm kidding. There isn't.
That would actually be a pretty cool, pre-tech thing where you use like a telekinetic limb.
That would, yeah. Instead of actually growing demon legs, you could just give him telekinetic legs.
So it looks like he's floating around everywhere. Now, oh wait, but hold on. Would the original legs just be? Yeah, hold on. Would the original legs just be floating there, though?
Yeah, you'd probably have to cut off his legs.
I mean, you'd have to do that anyways. So.
I mean, that.
But it would be kind of fun to see him just like floating around, the legs dangling beneath him.
Look, if nothing else, if his legs are screwed, that means he's not getting sensory input from them, right? So we could just have Libra punch them off. We have seen her punch straight through a person before.
This is true.
It would even cauterize the wound so he wouldn't bleed out.
This is
Okay.
true.
And we have an
Somehow I don't
expanded
think
memory
Bruno
on
would be
hand.
on board
We'll be
with that.
fine. Yeah, you're right. He probably wouldn't be too keen on getting his legs punched off so that we can install new ones.
All right.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen anyways, most likely, right? I mean, I guess the cyborg could use his current legs somehow.
I know, but he's not going to get them punched off by an android.
Oh, yeah.
I assume.
But that's not really a approved medical procedure.
Like
No,
I
it
say,
is
we're
not.
probably not going to do that, Amy.
Hey, the additional component you
Nice.
get is computing.
Ooh.
You got
Cool.
an extra
Doubling up.
computing from the Exodus Bay.
And we're going to go back. Yeah, so all goes through computing, which I think is almost all the way. Well, I guess not with the big gun. That gives us
Yeah,
all
we
the
do-
engine stuff.
We did 4 overall, and this is 2. So that's I'm a guaranteed question mark 1 from the bridge. So yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Plus we
And,
got a conversion 1. So good haul for the first week. Really good haul.
and you can push it and go for one more if you'd like.
What does that require? Like a 14?
It does require a 14, yes.
I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to try.
I was going to say, is
Right?
there any
Or
penalty
does-
to
or
it not?
What have you got a roll
or
here?
does it? Or does it
A
hurt
roll
to
an
try?
11.
No, there's
Yeah.
the only penalty for trying in this instance is that a failure ends that run.
Right, so either we end
Yeah,
it or
don't
we
see why
choose to
not.
try again and end it anyway, and
Yeah.
yeah.
In
But
that
try.
location.
Well, I'm gonna give it a go. Yeah, I don't have much to. I
Most
almost thought about specialist. Yeah, there we go. That's what I
most
expected.
targeted sites won't have multiple locations like this, so the extra rolls do carry a penalty. In that, I mean, not really a penalty. You were gonna roll them anyways. But
Yeah.
you know, there's the end of the pre-tech for that week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, if we fail the roll and end the thing, it's like, okay, we failed, but if we didn't roll it, we'd end it anyway because we wouldn't.
Yeah.
We didn't continue, so we might as well
Yeah.
roll them.
Yeah, there really isn't
Yeah.
a reason not to roll there, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Unless we forget, this is a bunch of data from a pre-tech ship, 3 pre-tech components, an improved med bay, and 500,000 credits worth of guns. Not a
Yes.
bad haul for a week.
In a week.
this has been a
Yeah.
diamond mine for you.
Yeah. I do have a question relating to these zombies.
Okay.
And it may be a question that we just don't have the data to answer.
All right.
And
Well,
it
let's
is a
hear
bit of a weird question, but it does relate to the news thing a little bit.
Now, before you
I'm
ask
down.
it, I
Go on.
want to ask: is it weird, as in it's something that I would expect coming out of viral?
Hey!
No, I don't think it's that weird. It's just
Okay,
like,
okay.
It's kind of slightly onto the conspiracy theory side, but not completely. It's plausible. It's plausible.
Sorry,
Join the
viral.
dark
I
side, we
couldn't
have
resist.
It's at least plausible.
No, that's fair. Join the dark
but we
side, we have
have-
cookies.
We have footage from Sage opening several pods,
Mm-hmm.
and we have opened. Have we just opened one? Or have
I
we opened
believe
more
you've
than
only
that? I
opened
can't
one.
remember.
Yeah.
Of the ones where, and we've looked around the ones, I'm gonna sort of, and obviously say if this is not okay, but I'm gonna retroactively say the ones that we found the numbers on, we have a picture of the person that's in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine.
In the footage, the one that Sage opened and then it stood up, do we get a clear view of its face at the point the pod opens?
Yeah, clear enough.
Are its eyes closed?
Its eyes were not closed.
Eyes are open.
Ooh.
In the pictures we've taken of the ones where we've opened it after, are the eyes closed?
They are.
Yeah.
So they were awake, but decomposing in the
Well,
I'm gonna say it's Chambers.
my weird theory
Go on.
Right? Weird theory time. So the transmission is talking about a billion windows rest shuttered, one pried open the cuckoo's nest, cast light for all to see. And the thing about the eyes being the windows into stuff, my thinking is maybe whatever this is that possessed these corpses only works if the eyes are open. So all the ones we've opened where the eyes are closed can't do it. But if the eyes are open, if they went into stasis with their eyes open, which is probably quite rare, I would imagine.
They do say the eyes are the windows to the soul.
Well, indeed. So
I'll be honest.
Never thought it'd be so literal.
Yeah. I'll be honest, when you said, like, when you mentioned the billion windows rest shuttered and the eyes open thing, I thought one pried open the cuckoo's nest would be one of whatever psychic ghost thing it is that I'm speculating about. Pried open the cuckoo's nest by going into a person and cast light for all to see, being signaling to others of its kind, evidently 5, but if we'd left them alone for longer, maybe more, that, hey, look, vessels.
Yeah.
And the sleepless rest, well, they're not sleeping when they're in stasis, are they? Of shuttered souls, boxes, shutters. Best let be.
Shuttered souls could be eyelids.
True.
If the eyes are closed.
Yeah. Best let be, though. It's an interesting bit.
Leave it alone.
Yeah. There is a tiny part of me that wants to open the eyes on one of these and see what happens, but that seems like a terrible idea if I'm right.
Not without Percy standing there with a gun pointed at his head. You're not.
Well, I
mean, there's not a huge.
If we're gonna do that, we need it under observation, so that we can see if it wakes up.
I'm loving the idea of little Jas, like thinking about going around and opening corpse eyes.
Yeah. Well, it's less like Das wanting to do that, and more like this is an intellectual puzzle at this point. She wants to understand it.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, hear me out. Here's thought, right? The last line says "best let be," so it's almost like it's best that the corpses are not up and trying to shoot people.
This is true.
Does that potentially mean that? I know I'm already reaching by saying some sort of psychic ghost thing possessing them. One pried open the cuckoo's nest. But what if this is some third party warning us that, hey, this is happening with these psychic ghost things? They are raising corpses in whatever indirect way.
Yeah.
Like the third party saying, no, this is bad. It's best that they will let be.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, we still have absolutely no idea where this transmission came from in the first place, but...
Yeah. I think given speed of light stuff, it has to be this system for the date, unless they spoof the date. Which I guess is likely.
I mean, we've seen people spoofing much bigger things for much smaller reasons, and with much less potential pre-tech involvement.
Yes.
In this session, even.
Well, let's get to the little bit of extra data that you get from the Exodus Bay here. There is one other kind of curious identifier amongst the amongst the I want to call them corpses. I keep trying to call them corpses. They're not. Amongst the
They're not.
Well, they weren't in these records. They're people. I'll just call them people. There is one other curious identifier amongst the people in these records that, as you're able to spend a little bit more time collating the data, filtering it, emerges as too much of a coincidence to overlook. It is...
Oh, that's what we like. Go on. Give us the good stuff.
IDEN. There are exactly 6 among the 500 million people that were stored on the ship that are also identified with IDEN. They're not the 6 that got opened.
Right. But 6 somewhere in there have that.
Hmm. Are those 6 people who are identified as IDEN potentially all psychic by any chance?
They are not.
Damn it!
Sorry.
Shot down.
Not a single one of them is psychic, in fact.
Can we find one of those and have a look?
Yeah,
One of
you
those
sure can.
6?
Maybe it's the entire opposite.
You find one of those that's fairly easy to access, and pull his drawer out, his or her, slide it down to the ground and pry it open.
Percy standing by with a gun, of course.
Eyes are open.
Does it get up?
It hasn't moved yet.
Okay. How's the decay? Is it the full time or less?
It's the full time. It is, however, wearing a different I keep wanting to treat them as corpses. Storage attire, sleeping attire, than the others that you've seen. It's wearing some kind of uniform that also marks it as special, and has the a little identifier on its marking, IDEN, once again. While you're humming, I'm going to go ahead and have us roll on your week's worth of salvage. So,
Yeah.
Alright.
let's do your spare parts first, because I think that's what you're most excited about. And that is going to be... that must be a copy-paste error, because I have pilot in here, which isn't appropriate now that you're on a stable single location.
I mean, have we... Do we have a forklift or something?
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or should we do... are ATVs always big enough for the ATVs?
Not for the
not.
ATVs. ATVs are huge.
Yeah, I know. It would be kind of funny to be driving them around in here, though.
No, but you can fashion little wheeled loaders. They're not going to be the best. Well, actually, no gravity. You don't need wheels.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. See, it's so foreign. It's such a foreign concept.
Yeah, you just need to be able to hold stuff together.
Yeah. Yep. You just need something that you can strap it to a long snaked bar with links between so that it can navigate around corners. Maybe, I don't know. So somebody be prepared to roll a 3d6 and add to it who's got the highest con amongst those that are helping. And let's actually put salvage party. I know that there's a whole box for party, not porta party. Porta party sounds terrible too.
Yeah.
Alright. I know that Douglas, alright, Percy, you need at least 5 people that are actively part of the salvage party. We know Libra is, and Das is also, even though she's doing other things.
Okay. Yeah.
The computer stuff is still relevant.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
got plus 0 con, by
you're
the way.
right, Miokin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you,
I don't think we've got any
Jackal,
plus
is
twos.
Elise going, or do you want to bring another NPC aboard?
Sorry, I was coughing.
Well, stop, please.
Elise will go with her.
Okay. All right.
with them.
Okay. So then, yeah, amongst the salvage party, who's got the highest con? We've got a +1 so far.
No improvement on that. I don't
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Douglas is going to have the highest fix, and I believe Elise will have the highest admin. What is Elise's admin?
+1.
And fix for Douglas?
+2.
All right. So you're
So that's
at
a total of +4.
looks like it. 3d6 +4 -3.
So +1.
Yep.
God damn it!
Oh, that is
low is good,
middle
right?
guys let us down.
low is
Sorry,
not
Low is
good.
right?
Sorry.
That was
It's weird, no.
bad.
No, low is very good. Okay, you know, I'm just,
I don't even need the calculator to tell you this one.
Oh no.
Yeah. Can that happen?
Yeah, right. It's okay. That was
Oh, we got to start at denial.
that was the spare part stage, and it's clear that you were sacrificing parts for components, or maybe I'll let you guys decide how that came about when we figure out what you get for the regular parts and the art also. So we're still going to use the +1 con, the +2 fix. Who's got the highest exert?
I've got +1, I think.
+2 exert.
Okay, so then this is going to be 3d6 +2.
Somebody else roll it, please.
I'll roll it. So +2 total.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
forest.
All right.
I take this.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a damn sight better than what I did.
Yeah. Well, Meowkin has rolled 4s. You rolled 4.
One of my dice.
Ouch.
Yeah. That's,
Like- Like I got the average of 1d6 rounded up on 3d6.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, and the last one is wisdom, notice, and trade.
Okay.
+1 on all 3. From me.
All right. Does anybody have better wisdom, notice, or trade than 1?
No advance on that. No.
Oh, not I.
All right. So this is just going to be a. I see Jackal type in there. All right. So this is going to be a 3d6 +1 then, using Elise's wisdom.
I'll give it
At
a
least it's very wise, it seems.
+1, was it?
+1. Mm-hmm.
Please do better than me.
All right.
Yeah.
That's better.
It is
Yep.
better.
God, I feel like I'm letting the team down here. I had the best modifier and got.
Nah, you just.
Or not the best modifier.
You rolled
We just didn't get
potentially the
past.
most important one, and yeah, you let the team down.
Look, I'll make it up to you next time someone's trying to shoot us in the face, okay?
Yeah. Like that. As long as you don't fail on those rolls, it's fine.
All right, so you're
Even if I do fail on one of those rolls, it doesn't matter.
Well, indeed.
I think I've been putting it into. No, I haven't. I guess. I thought I'd been typing what your haul was. Maybe a SP. Yes, I did. All right. I probably shouldn't abbreviate SP quite that much. Let me adjust that parts. Oh, I'm looking at something completely wrong. Those were just the options that I gave to you, I think. Well, anyways, I'll just to put it out there. So this week yielded only half the spare parts that he had anticipated. but more of the sellable parts basic industry. So not the usable spare parts, the ship repair parts, but the basic stuff like steel plating and stuff like that. Um, and my proposition for why you fell so hard on the spare parts is that this is your first time salvaging a big ship like this, that you were being extra careful with trying to get the actual valuable components out of it, the pre-tech. You also had some distractions in data and corpses and eyelids.
And guns.
And guns, yeah.
Lots of very lucrative guns. Like, if nothing else, we can put some of that money towards buying spare parts if we're that desperate.
Yep, you can certainly try, yes.
And the most important distraction of all, crackpot conspiracy theories.
I'm gonna one up that as we reach the end of the session here with 2 revelations.
Oh shit. Go on.
One coming from Acid, who you may recall from her bio, before things fell apart on Trinita Fade, was a Terran Mandate code breaker. Like, not working for the Terran Mandate. A code breaker specialized in Terran Mandate tech. So she is trucking right along with the data that's coming out of your computer and has already processed some of it. I'm only going to post one of the audio files. We'll save the rest for our next session. But there is one audio file that has been able to be recovered from the data you transferred from the bridge. And it also gives you a very clear and exact date.
We do like exact dates.
That's pretty old.
Yeah. I'm also gonna fill your ears with some of the art. Also is kind of correlating to some of the weirder things that you've been seeing around here. Hold on a second. A lot of the art, it actually includes references to ghosts. There are images of ghostly auras and floating lights pervading the what media you've recovered, and children's toys that you've found. There's a lot of ceramic and ceramic-like material used in a lot of things that don't require structural stability, lending to kind of a clean, ghostly feel, kind of converting that Star Trek clean to ghostly clean.
So what you're saying is that we're very spiritual people.
Maybe they're cultural icons. Kind of maybe a little bit less.
Does the depiction of this light match up to what Elise saw?
Only in the loosest sense, the best sense for conspiracy theories.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah, that lines up with one of the last little notes of these art tidbits that you see, is that some of the more serious things, the things that aren't children's toys, you see in like pop idols and various cultural icons, or at least things that you would identify these were cultural icons to them. Even those incorporate transparent heads with a floating light inside, or they have lopsided eyes. Like one eye is higher than the other on their face. I would find that personally very disconcerting if I saw.
Yeah.
About to say just as much.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if Selena Gomez with lopsided eyes in the art depicting her, like, why?
Hmm. Is it consistently one way or the other, or does it
Nope.
flip depending on who?
No consistency.
Okay.
Why would you assume that he'd give us a nice consistent pattern to work off of?
The other little info bomb I'm going to drop right as I end the session here is
Yeah.
click.
Ah.
Click
Okay.
and then loose. Like, normally
Oh.
when it clicks, there's something else
There's another
rigid.
layer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's open.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Inside the tube are 10 little, like, flash tab-like things, but without the exposed electronic bit. That don't appear to have been the original intended contents for this tube. The tube was designed to hold something very snugly. These happened to fit. They were also part of the difficulty in opening it because they weren't, perfectly fit in there. They did move around and raise some false flags.
Right. It's like, oh, it clicked. No, it was just the thing moving around.
Nice try,
Yeah.
Viral.
Yeah.
Acid
Wasn't actually expecting it to be that. Just thought it'd be funny.
identifies them as QEDs.
Yeah. Sound familiar, anyone?
That's the memory what's it's, right?
Yep.
The memory what's-its. Yeah.
Okay.
How many are there?
10.
10.
How do they work? Do they store stuff, or are they just like they've been used?
And we're gonna end our session.
Yeah.
I think Ginja just muted himself to go scream.
No, I muted myself to type.
Uh-huh.
Claims Ginja
Sure.
after having finished screaming before he unmuted.
No, I'm typing. I'm writing things in my
Yeah,
notes.
I believe you.
In all caps.
I will take questions or any last comments about the session, just not about the
Not about
QEDs
that.
or the the ghost information.
I thought you were going to say just not on stream.
Yes, you get 1 XP.
Splendid,
Yeah.
thank you.
Because we got our bonus XP early.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas
we
came
did.
early.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
I do have a scene I want to get to, but like I don't even like I kind of want to get to it at the start of next session, but I also kind of don't because I want answers. But there is a thing that would definitely have happened about halfway through that week that I want to get to.
Okay, we'll swing back around to that. And yeah, Jackal, I knew that you'd be getting a bonus XP this session, but this session you would have leveled up anyways, so I gave it to you last week so you could have the extra, the early level up.
Mm.
Which
So
ends
you'd be
up
level
being
5
useful
for
because Hacker 2.
exploration.
Yes, Hacker 2.
Yes, actually.
So
Yeah.
it was useful.
Yeah.
It was very useful.
Like a bonus XP this session would have just been like, well, we were leveling up anyway, so thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
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 Oh right. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously 8 bonus.
God,
There's
Jackal,
a
you're even worse than me.
Jackal. There is a potential bonus XP depending on what you guys decide to do with the QEDs once we get session time into it.
Burn them.
That would be worth XP.
Well, I would want to know what they do and how they work first, but that's an option.
It's always an option.
Depending on what they do. Like the thing is, like Yeah, it depends what we can do with them, and whether we want to do what we might be able to do with them.
You know what? Let's discuss it next week, hey?
Yeah, this is definitely stuff for next week.
Any non-QED questions or last comments?
I don't think anything springs. Oh, yeah. No, actually, I did have a question. Is Femno a planet or a system that we know of in the modern day?
It is not.
Huh.
I mean,
Okay,
given the location and the context, we are in a system that's full of a bunch of asteroids that look like they used to be a planet.
Yeah, and that's what those records are saying.
That date is 600 years ago.
Yeah, so it's possible that we are in Femno.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
In, not on. Yes. Yeah. I have one question, but it would kind of reveal my plans for that scene next week, so I will ask it next week.
Okay.
There are kind of 2 scenes, maybe, depending on stuff, but we'll see.
That's okay. I love scenes. I'm going to go ahead and put the stream ending card up. We are still streaming. It's just we're going into review.